Welcome live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the night of the Winston Select, live here on TNN. And welcome to a special edition of Race Day. It's great to have you with us tonight. Coming up, some exciting Winston Cup racing, the Winston Open and the Winston Select, with huge money on the line. The race winners from the last couple of years and some other select qualifiers able to make the show. Great to have you with us here on a very warm Saturday night. We're expecting a hot night of stock car racing. I'm Rick Benjamin. Great to have you with us here. The NASCAR Sportsman cars are on the Speedway right now. They're running a 100-mile preliminary to tonight's Winston Open and Winston Select. We'll let you know how they're doing in this race, which has just begun in just a couple of moments. First, I want to introduce you to the guy who's going to be calling all the action tonight in the booth for us here on TNN, Mike Joy. Mike.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NASCAR's All-Star Night of Nights. Buddy Baker, every time we've come to Charlotte for the Winston, since they installed the lights, the electricity has not been just to illuminate this place. It's been on the racetrack, and it's been wild.
I guarantee you, you talk about a format of excitement, this is it. You people are in for a show. One of the key players in the Winston Select last year is our old buddy Ernie Irvin. Ernie, we wish you were down there, but we're glad to have you up here with us.
Well, I tell you, I'm really excited to be up here in the booth. I'd much rather be in the race, but I'm real excited to be here, and hopefully I can get some color commentating like everybody likes.
Ernie, glad to have you joining Buddy and me upstairs here. Right now, Marty Ward is leading Sherry Minter under caution in what's already been a pretty well wreck-marred Sportsman 100. Let's go back to Rick.
All right, thanks, Mike. Looking forward to Mike and Buddy and Ernie's call of the event a little bit later on. Now, patrolling pit road for us tonight, a couple of familiar faces on TNN, Glenn Jarrett and Randy Pemberton. Randy's standing by with the defending winner of this race.
That's correct. We'll be talking a lot about drivers being in zones. And in 1994, Jeff Bonine was in the money zone with $250,000 for winning this race. Jeff, what's it like? Can you win it tonight?
Yeah, we can. The car was running really good in the last practice. It ran good last night in the last practice we had at night. So that's encouraging. And unfortunately, there's a lot of good running cars out here. And, you know, the guys in the bow tie cars, they're running really fast. But, you know, us four guys, we haven't given up. We think we have a chance here tonight, and I know this Excite car has a real good chance. I got my good luck charm, Tanya Tucker here. We're kind of discussing what 10 laps. She wants to drive the last 10 laps. Should I let her?
Oh, I think you need to drive the last 10.
I'm going to let, okay, you drive the first 10?
Yeah.
I'd keep Jeff in the car for 10. Now let's go to Glenn Jarrett, who'll be he'll be parading up and down pit road and in the garage area, maybe doing a little paroling as well. But Glenn Jarrett will be on pit road with me tonight. He's with the pole sitter. Glenn?
Am I parading or paroling or what? Anyway, a little bit different qualifying format here at Charlotte. The guys take the green flag, run a lap, come in for the pits. They have to make a two-tire change, all different. Then they come back out and go back around the racetrack again. You have never run Winston Cup racing where you made pit stops under full speed, but you did an awfully good job. You cut that corner awfully short.
Well, thank you. You know, I guess sometimes it pays off not to know what you're doing. So one of those situations where I told them, I said, now, I go out and run a lap, then come in. They said, yeah. I said, okay, I'll be back in a minute. Didn't know what to expect. They didn't know what to expect either. So, you know, we had a good race car, you know, a good lap before that. Brakes worked good. Didn't spin out. Just came on down pit road and stopped right on the pit board like I usually don't, and then left and came back around, and they said, hey, you did it. And I'm like, okay, I figured I just finished the lap. And they said, no, you're on the pole so far. And I said, well, this is something different, you know. So, but anyway, it's great. Interstate battery Chevrolet worked great. Looking forward to tonight.
Congratulations to Bobby Labonte, and that's as exciting as he ever gets. The Race Day Special Edition will return with TNN's countdown to the Winston Select right after this. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our Race Day Special Edition live on TNN from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Speedway Sportsman cars on the track, 22 laps into the books. Marty Ward continuing to lead that race. Great to have you with us tonight. I'm Rick Benjamin on TNN. You know, we hear a lot about athletes who are in the zone. Basketball players who can't miss their shot. Golfers who strike irons so cleanly. Race drivers get in that zone too. Glenn Jarrett standing by with one driver who hopes to find that zone here tonight.
Well, that's exactly right, Rick, and he was in a zone here a couple of years ago. Of course, I'm talking about Kyle Petty, driver of the number 42 Coors Light Pontiac. And Kyle, talking about athletes in a zone, baseball players, football players, basketball players all get into it, but race drivers do just as well.
Yeah, but it's different for a race car driver. You know, and it's funny you're talking about this because Rodney Rogers is up on top of the truck, and we were talking about it this morning. You know, we were asking him, he played a game, asking him who guarded him. He said nobody. He scored 31. He was in a zone, man. But the deal is that in a race car, you know, you go out there and you run and run and run, and you're in a zone and everything's working and you feel good and the car feels good, and all of a sudden something breaks on the car and you have no control over it. And, you know, last week we run pretty decent at Sears Point. You know, I really felt I could see the track. I was where I wanted to be. The racetrack looked 800 miles wide. I couldn't make any mistakes, and all of a sudden we break a shock, and you end up finishing 28th, and it's like, man, you're out of the zone. So that's a bad part about having to depend on something else to put you in the zone.
Well, he'll certainly be trying to find that zone again. He has to run in the Winston Open to get in the Select. Let's take a look at some other competitors in their zone.
I think we stay in one. You know, when you run 190, 200 miles an hour, you have to be totally focused in order to not only think about winning, but surviving. So you see those guys on the court, and their success, and they kind of up their game to another level, and they call that the zone. But our concentration level is totally 100% focused and zoned out for the event, the whole event. Anytime the green flag comes out to the checkered ball. So, you know, I think our deal is mentally more demanding than anything in the whole world.
If the crew gets in the zone with the car and the car is just awesome, then you're going to have an awesome weekend. Whoever shows up with the awesome car, that's the guy that gets the job done.
It comes and goes. Adrenaline has a lot to do with it. You know, a few years ago when I was over there with Kyle, something happened for that whole weekend. I mean, in the following week, Kyle got in his zone. I mean, and he was, we made an adjustment at halfway, and we led a bunch of laps there at the end, and it was just a real exciting race the last 10 laps.
Just like you can do anything with the race car. I mean, you can go anywhere. You know, it's almost like you don't have to lift no matter where you're at. You know, the car is just perfect, and it's just a relief. I mean, you know, you actually relax when you're in that zone. It's not a tense moment there because the car is so good.
I ain't got zoned out yet.
Never been zoned out.
Never been zoned out. Never been zoned in either.
I like to know where some race drivers, what zone they're in. Sometimes you think they're in the outer limit zone. I guess we all are different. We all are different people, and athletes try to get in zones. What they mean by a zone is a mindset where you concentrate 100% on what you're doing, and you can concentrate 100% on what you're doing, and then you do it right. I try to get in a zone, and especially for that last little shootout that they give us for the Winston, where everything's on the line, you better be focused, you better be ready to do whatever it takes to win that race.
Dale Jarrett will start the Haviland Ford in third position tonight. You know about being in zones. You'd like to get in a groove, but recently this car, the 28 car, has had some spectacular moments here. Unfortunately, not always good. What about tonight?
Well, yeah, I like to relive some of the moments they've had going to victory lane. The other parts where they tore up the cars. No, I hope that we're away from that. Got a pretty good car. Exciting race. I'm just ready to get started. I think we've got a shot at this.
Okay, Dale, good luck tonight, and we've got a lot more coming up live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway with our special edition of Race Day. We'll be back right after this.
You could not ask for a finer night for the Winston Select live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back to our special edition of Race Day. Great to have you with us tonight. All 110,000 seats are sold for this show. Infield is jammed. It's going to be a great night of racing live here on CNN. We're glad you're along for all the excitement. And we've talked about the drivers being in the zone tonight. The drivers who think they have a shot at winning, they're hoping to be in that zone. For the crew chiefs who put these cars on the racetrack, though, this race is almost a nightmare. When you get to the Winston Select, it's only 2 segments of 30 laps, and then the final 10-lap sprint, almost no strategy, and they know that half the cars probably won't come back into the haulers in one piece. One of the crew chiefs who has put a great car together tonight, standing by on pit road with Glenn Jarrett.
And Rick, that crew chief is Jimmy Makar, who is the crew chief on the pole winning car, the number 18 Interstate Battery Chevrolet, and a lot of different things go into setting up a car for this particular race, Jimmy.
Yeah, it really does. It's quite different from what we're usually used to. You know, it's not 500 miles. It's 2 little short 30-lappers and a real short 10-lapper. And the thing about it is the races run at night, and we don't have much night practice here. We qualify, and then we get a 30-minute practice session right after that. So that's all you get for practice under the lights. So the rest of your practice, like today, was during the day in 90-degree weather with the sun beating down. So kind of hard to get your car set up, you know, just from the weather standpoint. And again, 30 laps, you got to set up one way, 10 laps a little differently. So it's going to be interesting to see who hit the right combination for all of it.
Well, Jimmy Makar is not the only one who has had those nightmares, but maybe his dreams will come true tonight. Let's take a look at these crew chiefs' nightmare with Larry McReynolds.
Over the last few years, my view of the Winston from pit road has been incredible. We've won in legendary style.
Davey Allison is going to take it home. He's going to win.
But sometimes at a price.
It'll be the finish. Everybody was waiting for it. They crashed past the finish line. They have crashed into turn number 1.
One thing is for certain. Every team risks losing a fast race car in any wreck. It's a night that can quickly turn into a crew chief's greatest moment or his worst nightmare.
It is a crew chief's nightmare if that's the car that you want to run in the 600 the next week, and usually that's the car you want to run because you want to take the fastest car you got.
No one likes to see a crash, sponsors. But that is part of this business, so you have to be ready if that does happen, and you have to expect it to happen once in a while. And in a race like the Winston, with so much money on the line, so much prestige, glory for the winner, you got to expect some dents and maybe a crash or two.
You take a car over there that you don't plan to bring back. I mean, that's just the characteristics of the race. But hopefully it'll be a good race and nobody gets hurt.
I mean, you don't mind if you get a little tire mark down the side of the car, but you know, you would like to use the Winston as a test for getting ready for the Coca-Cola 600, but you can't. You really can't risk it the way it is. It gets pretty wild and hairy with the last 10 or 10 laps of the shootout, you know, or after they invert the field, you know, at halfway. So it gets pretty nerve-wracking.
We built 2 special cars for that, so you know, we're not afraid to kill one during the Winston if we have to. I mean, it'd be a great honor to win that thing. So when we go there to win that race, and you know, whatever happens, happens.
The main theme of the night is survival because the racing is crazy. Strategy usually goes out the window, but there are some keys to the race that can put you in a position to win.
There's a little strategy because you need to be in that last 10-lap race or you don't have a chance of winning. So that's about the only strategy you have. You try to get a good starting spot, obviously, for that last 10-lap dash. But other than that, it's just wide open, hammer to the pedal to the metal, and see what you have.
If you want to take the easy way out, what you do, you finish last in the first 2 races. That starts you on the pole for the last one where all the big money is. And I have seen drivers do that and win the race. And can you fault them, Adam? I don't know. You know, they walk away with all the cash. You know, but if you got a car that's strong enough and it's super fast and you start from the back and you win them all, that's really heroic looking, and that's really the way to do it if you got a car that's strong. But a lot of guys don't. So there's a lot of people say, hey, you crazy? 200 grand? I'm not going to sit there and just play around. I'm going to finish way back, start in the front, go ahead and win the thing.
It's a short race, so there's not really a lot of strategy, you know. Kind of free the thing up and try and have the fastest car, and you know, you want to make as much money as you can, so in order to do that, you have to win as many segments as you can. So that's the strategy.
You know, there's no better remedy to a crew chief's nightmare than a visit to Victory Lane. And after visiting there twice myself, I can tell you it definitely helps.
All right, thanks, Larry. Larry McReynolds, among many crew chiefs, hoping they've got the right combination tonight to send their driver to Victory Lane here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Teams getting ready for the Winston Open, then the Winston Select live on TNN. You're on a special edition of Race Day. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where the NASCAR Sportsman cars are still running. Special edition of Race Day. It's great to have you with us as we bring you the warm-ups, so to speak, for the Winston Select tonight. Great to have you with us here on TNN. There's a couple of guys, if you live in the Charlotte area, you may well have heard these guys on the radio. John Boy and Billy from WRFX-FM, they're the leading morning team in the Carolinas. With apologies to David Letterman, we came up with a top 10 list of reasons why you want to watch the Winston Select tonight.
Thanks, guys. John Boy and Billy in the garage area. The Winston Select, this is the all-star race. There are no points available, just a lot of money, and really just name their own rules. Yeah. I mean, like Bruton and Humpy here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, unbelievable.
Well, it's like you said, no points and precious few rules, actually, and in fact, the rules continue to change right up until race time.
Oh, they do. I mean, the fans voting whether to invert the field or not, something like that. Well, we here, John Boy and Billy Rock and Roll Racing, we decided, man, there's probably at least 10 more good rule changes that we should have for the Winston Select this year. Do you have them, Billy?
Yes, we have 10, yes.
Perfect.
All right. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the top 10 rule changes for the Winston Select. Number 10, lead a lap, do a shot. Number 9, loser pays for everybody's gas.
All right.
Number 8, before a final 10-lap segment, lights will be turned off.
Yeah!
That should be exciting. Number 7, Goodwrench crew must change color scheme from silver back to black before segment 2. Number 6, Jimmy Spencer's car equipped with one of those James Bond oil slick deals. Number 5, fans encouraged to pelt lap cars with chicken bones.
Yeah!
Yeah! Now you're talking. Number 4, at each pit stop, randomly selected crew will be replaced by the Gatlin brothers.
Ooh, that could cost
Yay.
some seconds.
Number 3, winner gets complete John Boy and Billy album collection, also available by calling 1-800-471-STUFF.
Wow, good rule change.
Hey. Number 2, big sloppy victory kiss from Buddy Baker.
Okay, not too good.
And the number 1 rule change for the Winston Select, 20 cars, 18 pits, 12 jacks.
Ta-da! All righty, we think that should make that a whole lot more interesting, and we're going to watch the rest of the race to see if they actually implement those.
There you go. There you go.
Buddy, Randy, we're still down here in case you need us again.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. John Boy and Billy from WRFX. I like that big sloppy kiss from Buddy Baker. That might really provide some extra incentive here tonight. If you'd like to find out more, if you'd like to get a little more of this excitement from John Boy and Billy, here's how you can order 1-800-471-STUFF. They have tapes available of their comedy material, and it is great stuff. We're live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The team's working to get ready for tonight's Winston Open and Winston Select. You'll see it all live on TNN coming up after this. Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, our special edition of Race Day tonight on TNN. It's great to have you with us. The Winston Sportsman cars are on the Speedway right now, winding down their preliminary event. Coming up in a short time, the Winston Open, followed by the Winston Select live here on TNN. A great night of racing coming up. It's been 10 years that they've been staging this event here. The drivers and the crews have given us some special memories over that time. Let's take a look back.
I think it's just become bigger and better. It's such an exciting race and a lot of fun for the drivers to be a part of. And you just get a tremendous feeling whenever you walk out there and the fans, I mean, they're standing and cheering, it seems like for hours before the race starts. So it hasn't lost anything, certainly, over the years. I think it's only gotten better.
You kind of forget the racing, but you never forget the reception you get from the fans when you roll your race car out. And it's just incredible. You know that sometimes there's even a full moon, and that makes it even wilder. But you roll out there, 100, 150,000 people, and they're happy to see you race, and you see flash bulbs going off. It feels like a rock concert, and that's the only time we get that feel all year.
Darrell Waltrip, a hand in the air, a wave to the crowd of 100,000 plus. He wins $200,000. He blows up.
Going in the first corner, he blew up.
What a Hollywood ending.
I won the first one. That was our goal, was to win the first one. Through the years, if you know, history will show that whoever won the first one will get mentioned quite a bit.
And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible. You know, everybody's most memorable moment is Earnhardt driving that thing down through the grass there. That was pretty memorable.
The year that he went across the grass, and there was a lot of rubbing and beating and banging there, and won that race. That was probably one of the most exciting Winstons I think we've been involved in.
Here comes Davey Allison to the bottom. It'll be the finish everybody was waiting for. They crashed past the finish line. They have crashed into turn number 1. And Davey Allison is in a shower of sparks.
Look at the 28 car trying to get by, go down on the outside. I don't think he'll make that move, but look at him make that move across the grass.
Through the grass, he's gone.
Oh, man.
Always one of them deals where I forgot about the big picture and was worried about that one lap.
We're just laughing at how excited we were as we build up to the Winston Open and the Winston Select. I think it's going to be another one of those nights.
Mike, I hope I don't say uh-oh again. I'll tell you what, though, folks. Of all the races that we do on TNN, this has to be one of the most action-packed things that you'll ever watch. So don't leave us. Stay with us.
Ernie, I hope he doesn't have to say uh-oh. Marty Ward leads the Sportsman 100 with just a handful of laps to go, Rick.
Mike, certainly looking forward to what's going to evolve here later on tonight. The Winston Open, 50 laps. A couple of drivers will make the field for the Winston Select, where all the money resides. A couple of $100,000 to win. You'll see it all coming up next here on TNN. Tomorrow, Race Day live at 11:30 and 7:30 Eastern. Hope you can join us. Thanks for watching our Race Day special edition tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Till tomorrow, I'm Rick Benjamin. Stay tuned for the Winston.
The following is a special presentation on TNN, the Nashville Network.
The Winston Select is a night for warriors. No holding back, nothing to save. Riches and glory await the risk taker. The Select is a shootout among the men who've proven they can win.
It's a real short-term deal, so you got to have a different thought process. In 89, I got the job done, and maybe I can get it done this time.
Well, if you want to win, no matter what, you know, whether you get knocked in the grass or pushed high or whatever, to get to the line first, you got to stand on the gas.
You have to take. And that's why you see some action out here. That's why you see some wrecks, some spins, because everybody is trying to take. Nobody is going to give.
You're looking live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, a special live primetime presentation of the Winston Select tonight on TNN. It's great to have you with us. All 110,000 seats are full. A traffic jam, the likes of which you used to only see here on the morning of the Coca-Cola 600 around the Speedway this afternoon. Everyone wants a ticket to this race. You've got the best seat in the house tonight, live on TNN. Great to have you with us. I'm Rick Benjamin. We've got a wonderful night of motorsports coming up here. The Winston Open and then the Winston Select. The hype for this event began really several days ago. Car color change. A driver you know very well, the 7-time Winston Cup champion, said, I'm going to shake things up. We're going to change things around with car number 3, a completely new color scheme, the Silver Bullet, you might say. Dale Earnhardt standing by with TNN's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Rick, the color of the car might have changed. It might be different, but it's the same Dale Earnhardt. He's still dressed in black, and he's still the man to beat when you come to the Winston. Kind of a tough day today, though.
Well, it has been. We messed up an engine earlier in early practice, and then we had another engine let go. A valve messed up in it and broke the head. So we put another engine in, which really is our Pocono race motors that we're going to race in the Winston here. So we'll see what it'll do.
Have you had any laps at all on that one?
Not any at all, but the car was really good last night in practice, and it's really good today in practice as far as the chassis goes. So Andy and I, got a few tricks, and we fine-tuned the car during the segments and between the segments. So feel confident the car is going to be good.
Well, I'm confident that he'll be up front as usual in the Winston. Good luck, Dale.
A lot at stake here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. No points, but a whole lot of money and a whole lot of prestige. This is one race all the drivers in the field tonight really want an opportunity to win, and a couple of dozen drivers think they really have a great shot tonight. To call the action for you tonight, voice of TNN Motorsports, Mike Joy. Mike.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. Marty Ward has just won the Sportsman 100 on the last lap, defeating Jerry Rector and Sherry Minter. A caution-plagued event, but action-packed, buddy, for all the folks who came here early.
They don't have a bad race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm going to tell you, Sportsmen are great races. They run here enough that they have a super speedway experience now, so it's a great race, too.
Even the Little Legends cars put on quite a show when they ran their feature events here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Ernie, you've got a lot of laps around here, around the asphalt, as we've seen through the grass, whatever. You come to this race on this Saturday night, and does just everything go out the window except the idea that I am here to win?
I tell you, it pretty much does. Everything goes out the window. You're going to sacrifice the car if you have to sacrifice the car, like I tried to do. And I'm really, really excited. I'd much rather be excited about being in the Winston, but I tell you, it's really exciting to be where I'm at right now.
We're going to enjoy Ernie's comments because he's never seen the Winston from this point of view. And if you haven't, don't leave. This is going to be one hot night. TNN's live coverage continues after these messages.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By cold-filtered Miller Genuine Drafts, making the world a very cool place. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Splitfire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more till you use it.
NASCAR's All-Star Night is really 4 events in one. Each has their own separate strategies, has their own separate style. And in this next one, the Winston Open, the first 5 drivers will transfer into the Winston Select. Glenn Jarrett is with the pole sitter for the Winston Open.
Well, he's no stranger to the pole. This is his second Winston Open pole. He has won the Winston Open 2 times. Looking for that 3rd-time charm tonight. Michael, you got an awfully fast car.
Well, it was last night, and then we practiced today, and it wasn't that good, but I was afraid to mess with it because, you know, in the conditions that we were faced with today were a lot different than what we saw last night. So we basically just rode around on old tires this afternoon and got a good feel for what it was going to be like in that scenario. Left the car alone, and hopefully now that we both put some new tires on it and the sun's going down, we'll be fast again.
Well, he's always fast in this race. Keep your eye on that number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac, folks, because he's always up front in this race. I don't think tonight will be any different. Randy?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard from Dale Earnhardt earlier about his tough luck, but you think he's had tough luck? I'm standing by with Ted Musgrave. Ted, last 2 days have been tough. What's happened?
Randy, I can't believe it. You know, them guys worked really hard at the shop, got me a car that just was awesome. We came here. It was one of the fastest cars in the whole garage area, and we were a shoe-in for the pole. And we went out to qualify, and down the backstretch, I either broke a connecting rod or a crankshaft coming for time trials. And so we didn't get a time in. We got to start in the back of the pack. We changed the motor, and the car's still one of the quicker cars here. Went out, and towards the end of the last practice session, I got a little loose off 4 and couldn't recover it, you know, wrecked the primary car. So we took the motor out of it, stuck it in our backup car, made a few laps, and we're not really sure how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to be pretty good, but the team morale is really up here. You know, the guys never quit working. They've been here since morning and haven't stopped working, and they still got smiles.
Okay, remember, no points tonight. Ted, go to the front. Ted is currently standing 5th in the Winston Cup point standings, but he'll start 36th tonight in the Winston Open. Now let's go upstairs to the guys that will give us the particulars on this prestigious night of Winston Cup competition. Guys.
Thanks, Randy. The Winston Open is first. Drivers that are not among the previous winning drivers or most recent winning car owners. 15 cars are already in the Winston Select later on. Everybody else gets in the Winston Open, and only the first 5 will transfer. So this is really an all-or-nothing show.
You got it. That's the whole key to this race. All or nothing. If you're not in that top 5, you might as well stay at home this week.
Ernie, I would want, what would it be like for a guy sitting here running 6th?
Well, I tell you, you know, you pull out all the breaks that you can do and do everything you could do to get into that Winston, because that's the big money. But, you know, I'm sure everybody's going to be trying as hard as they are.
Sterling Marlin has won this race a couple of times. Michael Waltrip has done well here. Ken Schrader crashed on his qualifying lap. He'll have to come all the way from the back of the field. Kyle Petty, other past winners, are in the Winston Open, and only the first 5 will transfer to tonight's All-Star Tilt, the Winston Select. This All-Star Night of Racing continues live only on the Nashville Network right after this.
And welcome back to the Winston. We're just getting ready for the start of the Winston Open here, and one of the guys that I think is going to have an awfully good chance at running up front tonight, transferring on over into the Winston Select, driver of the number 87 Burger King Chevrolet, Joe Nemechek. Joe, you certainly know your way around this racetrack. You got it? Can you hang in there into the top 5 tonight?
I think so. You know, the Burger King Monte Carlo has been running real good. Had a good qualifying run. I thought we had a shot at the pole, but ended up 3rd. We'll take it. You know, our goal tonight is to get some experience and get ready for next week, and hopefully we'll be in that top 5 and going for the main event.
Well, Joe Nemechek, as I said, always runs well here at Charlotte. I think he'll be one of the top 5 transfers. Let's go to the outside the front row with Randy Pemberton.
Well, Lake Speed sitting patiently in his car talking to his wife, Risa. Of course, in the Spam Ford, hopes that he's not the meat in the middle of a sandwich tonight. He's out front right now. Lake, we talked a little bit earlier. You practiced during the day, but it's going to be night.
Well, it's going to be night, but the guys have been doing a really good job for us, and we just hope that we guess right.
I want to tell you, say hello to Harry Melling out there and tell him, hey, boss, we're giving our best shot. We're getting a little better every week. Just keep watching.
Okay, Lake Speed definitely quick in practice. He'll be one to watch, no doubt about it here tonight.
I think so, Randy. This place is packed. The traffic jam here, well, I was outside turn 4 at 12:15. 45 minutes later, found a place to park. I hope the car's still there when I get back. This place has been packed all day for folks to watch practice, and the Legends cars and the Sportsman 100 won by Marty Ward. And now we get down to it with the Winston Cup drivers. Joe Nemechek, by the way, who Glenn just spoke to, took the final transfer spot out of the Winston Open into the Winston Select last year. We'll be back and have a look at the starting lineup for the Winston Open right after this.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
Welcome back to the Winston Select Open, the second of 5 races tonight on the All-Star Night here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And these last 4 events involve all of your favorite Winston Cup stars. Let's show you the starting lineup for the Winston Select Open. Michael Waltrip, 2-time winner, and Lake Speed, runner-up in this race in 1987, share the front row. In row number 2, Joe Nemechek on the pole in this race last year, and Jeff Burton, who finished 4th last year. Row number 3, Hut Strickland, 2nd in 1992, and Robert Presley makes his rookie start in this race. Rick Mass ran 5th in 1993 to transfer, and Dick Trickle won in 1990 by 8 inches over Rob Moroso. In row number 5, we'll have Todd Bodine, 4th place finisher at Darlington, and Chuck Bown as his first top 10 start for the active racing team. Row number 6, Derek Cope looks to get into his first select since '91, and second-year driver Jeremy Mayfield. Dave Marcus has 4 top 10s in the Open, and Mike Wallace hopes to join brother Rusty in the Winston Select tonight. Row number 8, Ward Burton ran 5th last year and got in Ricky Craven, Rookie of the Year candidate from New England. Row 9, Loy Allen Jr. makes his second try in this race, as does Steve Grissom from Alabama. In the 10th row, Bobby Hamilton was 5th in this race in '91, and last year John Andretti, who will only be at Charlotte this year, not Indianapolis. Row number 11, Morgan Shepherd needs to do well to get into his 9th straight Winston Select, and Greg Sachs, who finished 2nd in this race last year. Davy Jones, the road racing specialist, tackled Charlotte for the first time, and Joe Ruttman makes his first Winston Cup start since Daytona. Kyle Petty hopes to get into the All-Star race tonight for the 8th time, and Jay Hedgecott, the 30-year-old from High Point, North Carolina. Canadian Randy McDonald makes his second Winston Cup start in Jimmy Means' car, and Pancho Carter, the '85 Indy 500 pole sitter. Johnny Chapman, graduate from the Goodies Dash Series, makes his first Charlotte start, and Norm Benning, the part-timer from Pennsylvania, makes his 3rd effort in the Winston Open. Brad Teague in Del McCoward's car, first Open for him since 1989, and James Hilton, the 59-year-old driver, making his 2nd start in the Open. Eric Smith makes his debut in a Winston Cup car, number 49, and Ken Schrader, who crashed in qualifying, has to come all the way from 34th tonight. The final row, Randy LaJoy had an exciting qualifying lap yesterday, much of it backwards, and Ted Musgrave, the 5th place point man, has to come from all the way in the back to make the Winston Select, as he told you earlier. Dave Marcus will have to start from the rear of the field, we're told. He missed the driver's meeting. So the Olive Garden Chevrolet will go tail end. Here's our AutoZone race analysis, brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, best parts in auto parts. A lot of money at stake tonight and no points to be concerned about. Each segment, each of the first 2 segments of the Winston Select pays $50,000 to win. The final segment, $200,000. And the winner of this race, the Winston Select Open, $28,000. But more importantly, a chance to run the big show later tonight. "70 laps for the Winston Select, 2 segments of 30 laps each, and then final 10-lap dash. This race, the Winston Open, 50 laps, and the top 5 finishers will transfer into the All-Star race. Now, qualifying for the Winston Select 3 laps with a 2-tire pit stop. Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Makar, and the Joe Gibbs Interstate Battery Chevrolet team won $50,000 for earning the pole. And 1 lap of qualifying for this Winston Select Open. Fastest speed earns the pole. Michael Waltrip, 180.108 miles per hour, touring Charlotte in just a tick under 30 seconds.
Well, Mike, here we go, bud. I guarantee you.
I tell you, all the drivers are pretty much probably getting into their zone right now. You know, we were talking about that, and I think the drivers they're excited. You know, the atmosphere of this race just gets into your skin and makes you do things that you may regret, or makes you do things that you'll be standing in victory lane.
Ted Musgrave has to come from deep in the field.
Mike, we ought to see it all. He's starting as far back as he can. He's going to really see a lot of action back here.
Family Channel Ford of Ted Musgrave, Jack Roush Racing. There's a look. You see a lot of bright sunlight still on the back straightaway. The entire front stretch here, turns 1 and 4, are already deeply in shade. And as night falls, those million candle power Musco lights put this speedway ablaze. Points are meaningless tonight, but next week they'll be here to run 600 miles, and Dale Earnhardt will be looking to hold on to his slender 9-point lead in the Winston Cup standings. Jeff Gordon just 15 points out. Sterling Marlin, Ted Musgrave. Look at this crowd. Now, they've sold all these seats. I don't see anybody sitting in them. They're all on their feet.
They'll stay that way, too, through most of these races, I'll guarantee you. This is one place you buy standing room only.
You bought a seat. You just don't much get to use it.
You got it.
Turn 2. Still in bright sunlight. Now, you can see from the flashes of light there, all the lights are on here at the Speedway. So the transition to darkness will be a rather gentle one. There they are. These fleet of Winston Cup race cars, and some of them will look a little different than you're used to seeing them. Some new paint jobs tonight and a lot of new decaling and graphics. $28,000 to win this race, but more importantly, the first 5 finishers go on to the All-Star race tonight.
Mike, you know, all the race teams pretty much are around here, a good deal of them. Bragging rights around here are pretty important to these racing teams. $28,000 is important, but let us win, okay?
Ernie, 1 lap to go. What are you thinking right now behind the wheel?
Well, I tell you, if I was one of the guys on the pole, I'd be thinking just let's get going, and I think I'm gonna be fast enough to win the race. If I was Kenny Schrader and
Schrader and
Musgrave,
back there.
you know, those two are going to be starting in the back. They got some working together, and I think they probably talked before the race started. And I venture to say they're going to work together, and they're going to be in the hunt before this race is over.
Now, NASCAR has some rule changes, spoiler changes, that go into effect for this race. So aren't these teams also looking to learn a lot for next week's 600?
You know, I tell you, I don't really think that the spoiler changes. I mean, you got a 1/4 inch less spoiler on the Chevrolets and a 1/4 inch higher front air dam on the Chevrolets. I mean, that's a very minute change. I don't think that most of the teams could even tell the difference. So I don't think it's going to be a big factor.
Mike, I guarantee you one thing. They got their right hand on the gear lever, right foot on the, right now on the accelerator, left foot ready to make the clutch work. One thing they don't want to do is miss a shift, but they want to run like crazy because, I mean, if you're not in the top 5, hey, the night's wasted.
We're getting down to it. Getting set for the green flag for 50 laps in the Winston Select Open. First 5 drivers transfer into the Winston Select All-Star race tonight. 50 laps, so no scheduled pit stop. Chevrolet pace car makes the hard left turn onto pit road. Michael Waltrip and Lake Speed bring them down for the green flag. And we're racing.
Look at that great jump that Michael Waltrip got in second gear there, but as he goes into the corners, the 9 car of Lake Speed's even with him. Maybe a little bit advantage. He's taking the lead as they go into the corner.
That spam can was a rocket heading off into turn number 1. Speed, Waltrip, Nemechek, Jeff Burton, turn 3.
Mike, you can see the cars coming off turn 2 over there. There's a lot of dust flying up. Oh, we have a car in the wall.
Ward Burton is in the wall, and he has company. Jeremy Mayfield, number 98. Oh,
man.
And Mayfield gets hit hard by car number 72, Pancho Carter.
Mike, I was just making a comment about you can see the dust flying as they come off turn 2 over there. There's a lot of dust and all that gets on a racetrack when it hadn't been run on in several hours. And you can see it boiling up around the tires when they come off the corner.
I think a lot of that dust may have been, you know, the sportsman race we had earlier. They had a lot of kitty litter put down, and that was part of the dust, but I don't think that was part of the wreck.
That's Pancho Carter's car.
Oh, he just gets sideways right there. See Jeremy turn sideways coming off the corner there. He's pretty much in a bad spot there.
And another black car that looks, is that Chuck Bound? Yes, it is, with the orange numbers. And here comes Mayfield back across the track. Here's another look at it. Right side of your screen.
Ernie, that looked like he just got in there awfully hard and the back end broke loose and he couldn't catch it back before it turned around backwards.
Yeah, I mean, he was on new tires. You know, everybody starts a race on new tires, and, you know, it may be a little bit slippery.
Now watch the 98 car, the red car, come back across the track. A narrow miss. Oof. But then...
That's Delmer Cowart's car there, the 0 car. Boy, he just barely missed that inside wall sliding backwards there.
It was a 5-car incident and could have been a 9-car crash. Ward Burton's car will be picked up and hauled back to the garage area. A tumultuous start to the Winston Select Open. We'll be back. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway and NASCAR's All-Star Night. Got one lap of racing in, and a crash up in turn number 4 has taken out 4 or 5 drivers. And let's make one correction to the starting lineup. Car number 77, the Jasper Engines US Air T-Bird, white car there on your screen. Davy Jones announced as the driver, who's going to try to do the Indy Daytona double. Bobby Hillin Jr. is in that car tonight. Well, as we do on each of our TNN Winston Cup telecasts, let's go to Professor Buddy Baker in the Buck Baker School for this week's driving tip.
You know, Mike, everybody always asks me if it's more difficult to race at night than during the daytime. Well, don't let the nighttime fool you. Racing under the lights actually makes everything that happens on the racetrack clearer. There's less distraction from the surroundings of the track. Because the lights give the speedway a theater effect, like an actor looks off stage, the lights do not allow him to see the audience. Caution lights are brighter, so you can see them faster and you can react quicker, like traffic lights in your own intersection. But the greatest benefit of night racing is the consistency of the racetrack. You don't have to battle the weather, sun, and clouds that create a lot of problems for people when they're trying to get the cars behind the wheel. So track conditions don't change constantly like they do in the afternoon. Thus, the racing conditions stay very consistent. The corner speeds are faster, and this gives you a much better race.
1 to go, and we'll go back to racing in the Winston Select Open. You see a lot of bright sun on the backstretch. That is the only spot on this racetrack still illuminated by sun. Here's Randy Pemberton.
Jeremy Mayfield has climbed out. First of all, everybody okay? He just came from the infield care center.
Yeah, everybody's fine. It's just a bad situation. You know, it's early in the race, ain't even made a lap yet. And I think, you know, everybody's got their tire pressure down and stuff, and Ward got loose and spun and had him cleared, and somebody got in the back of me and just chain reaction from there. I just hate it for RCA and everybody.
No aerodynamic stuff. A lot of people say that air comes off the car maybe just a tad bit better than it did before, so you guys are going to be a little looser tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of people start out a little loose. You know, everybody knows it's going to get tight when the sun goes down and all. I think, well, we went to turn 1 and Chuck Bound got loose, you know, and about lost it, and then come down here and Ward did lose it. So it's just a bad situation for everybody.
Okay, tough luck.
Thank you.
Tough break for young Mayfield, along with Ward Burton, who's out of the race. Pancho Carter, his car badly damaged. The Del McCoward car, Brad Teague, has completed just 1 lap. Chuck Bound was able to continue with just a little bit of damage there, and we're set to go back to racing. On the point, Lake Speed, Michael Waltrip in the 2nd spot. Jeff Burton is now up to 3rd. Hut Strickland is 4th. Robert Presley is 5th. We're back under green at lap 6.
Well, Mike, I hope it's in the trend. Both of the cars that Jeremy was talking about getting real loose were Chevrolets, so I hope it's in the trend.
Big move up front, Todd Bodine, you saw there. on the outside, racing back at about 7th position at the front of the second pack. And remember, 7th doesn't mean anything here.
Look at Hut Strickland. My goodness, he's got a good. He got a run into that corner coming up beside Michael Waltrip coming off turn 4. Boy, that's 2 by 2 by 2 coming down through there.
Strickland in the Quaker State car is going to drag Robert Presley and Rick Mast right along with him.
Well, I think Hut Strickland just let everybody know he's going to be a factor in this race. I'm telling you, he got in that corner 8 car lengths deeper than anybody else getting in there. Looked like Ernie getting in there.
I tell you, I wish I was getting in there, but I tell you, he really
had
drove in
trouble
there
on
good.
the back straightaway.
Greg Sachs grinds to a halt. Caution is out. Race back to the flag. Lake Speed, Hut Strickland, and Robert Presley just ahead of his Skoll teammate Rick Mast for the 3rd spot. Is the full moon out tonight?
Oh, you got it, boy. Greg's got a tire down. That's where you see all the stuff dragging there. The bottom of that car is taking a beating when those tires are busted like that.
The caution is at lap 8. 2nd caution of the day in the Winston Select Open. Let's show you what happened to Greg Sachs at turns 1 and 2. Center of your screen.
He looked like he checked up just a little bit there. I can't tell. That's a long ways away there. I'll have to check on the car that touched him in the back and turned him around there. But
I believe that was Kyle.
That was Kyle Petty. And I tell you, once you get hit coming off that corner, that car don't weigh 4 pounds coming up out of that corner. It's really in a bind there, and if you touch them around, they'll go.
Both those cars owned by Felix Sabates. This one co-owned by Dick Brooks. And Greg Sachs is on pit road for repairs and hopes to get back out there. We'll be right back to Charlotte.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Getting set for the restart. Here's a look at the top 10 as they stand right now. 1 Chevy, 1 Pontiac, 8 Ford Thunderbirds. Ken Schrader is up to 17th. Ted Musgrave up to 21st. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, a little bit of a problem for some of the front runners. Pole sitter Michael Waltrip is reporting that his car a little bit loose right now. Is wanting to let things settle down a little bit before he contests them too hard. Also, Joe Nemechek has reported in he thinks he has a tire going down. He may have to make a pit stop. They didn't get to run enough under green for him to find out. He doesn't want to find out under green either when they go back.
Pace car is in. Let's get back to green at lap 11. Lake Speed, who finished 2nd in the 1987 Winston Open by 1 car length to Buddy Baker, is the leader.
You know, I was just watching Todd Bodine just a second ago. He has moved all the way up into 5th place. This kid really gets around this racetrack well. He's the car just in front of this group here. And look at this, side by side.
Trouble. Turn 2, Loy Allen. And he had a little help, I think. He's going to straighten it out and go, but that car is bent. Caution is out.
Caution's out.
Back to the line. Here comes Hut Strickland. Waiting on nobody. Now, Strickland qualified 5th for this race, but that was early in the qualifying session when the track was still under full sun, still a bit hot and greasy. But that car is fast tonight.
Didn't Hut Strickland start behind Lake Speed on this last restart and passed him? We were watching the other deal so much, and Hut must really be running.
The Health Source Ford of Loy Allen, that sponsorship just announced this week in a press conference here at the Speedway. And it was tight traffic here coming out of turn 2.
Oh, that Morgan Shepherd makes just a little bit of contact with Loy Allen and just enough to send him up the hill there. You see the dust flying. He's on his way to the wall there. Back end come up about 3 foot when he hit.
I tell you, there's not a whole lot of giving and taking already, and it's going to be an exciting night.
Jeff Bodine said it in the pre-race. This night is all take. There's not a lot of give.
And it's showing already.
Look at this shot. That's after they touch there. He's on his way up to the top. Look how this car jumps up in the air. He's very lucky to have those roof flaps. You can see him up on that car. They kept that car planted to the ground.
I tell you, look at Kenny Schrader. He was already right behind him, and he started like at one of the back rows.
Schrader in car 25, who crashed on his qualifying lap.
Little story I heard that Schrader had said going into turn 1 and come off turn 2 he told the guys, he says, man, he says, this car's a little loose, but it's fast. We went into turn 3, and it obviously was a little bit too loose.
Well, the first caution tonight was triggered by a spin by Ward Burton. Randy Pemberton's with him.
Well, believe it or not, Ward is suffering more woes back here. His poor little child just slipped in the oil that came out of his race car back here, bumped her head a little bit, or bumped his head a little bit, but Ward's certainly concerned about that. Ward, he wants to talk to you. I think he'll be okay. What happened out there on the track?
I really don't know. We didn't get hardly any practice time. We had a lot of mechanical problems. Went through that corner, picked up a couple of positions, and caused a little bit on the loose side, but it wasn't so loose that I didn't think I could gather it back up. And I went in that corner, went a little bit on the high side of 12 car. I don't know if I got touched or if I just lost it. Maybe I just lost the car. Tell you, there's a different type of tire construction or something going on this week, and something's a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it, but I must have just lost the race car.
No doubt about it. It's nighttime racing as the sun sets here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Green flag.
You see Hut Strickland on the outside. That's Greg Sachs trying to get back in the lead lap right now. He's fighting to get that position just ahead of the 26ers. I tell you, he better have some wings on that 40 if he's going to outrun Hut Strickland right now. That car is hooked up.
Well, Sachs is a fighter. And look at Lake Speed right behind. Who is Speed going to draft with here at 180 miles an hour?
You can see right there that Hut Strickland's car is getting in the corner. Super great.
Hut Strickland, that green car at the front of the field. Second place, Lake Speed, number 9. Todd Bodine moves up on the outside as he battles the 33 of Robert Presley. It's Jeff Burton in number 8, and an engine Let's Go going down toward turn number 1. Looks like that car will get down to the bottom and off the speedway.
Looks like Kyle Petty.
Well, there's Sachs up high. Speed trying the bottom.
Lake Speed is on the bottom side. He should go right on by Greg Sachs as they start into turn 1. The 75 car, Todd Bodine, is coming right along with him on the bottom side, I would imagine.
The car that was smoking was car 0, Brad Teague. Here is Speed underneath Greg Sachs. He's going to get there. Look at the red car of Kenny Schrader on the outside. Schrader started all the way at the back.
You seen Knife go through hot butter, hadn't you? Look at Schrader dice through this field. That's Michael Waltrip in the yellow car on the bottom of Schrader there, side by side off the corner. Schrader is flying.
Ken Schrader on the move is up to 10th place. Look at him tackle Rick Mast. Goes around the 1 car of Mast. Draws a bead on number 41, rookie Ricky Craven. Morgan Shepherd almost got into Michael Waltrip, turn 2. Everybody's okay. That was close. There they are. Boy, Shepherd just climbed the hill and almost climbed Michael Waltrip.
You know, Morgan Shepherd's car is moving up the racetrack a bunch right now. It looks like he might be a little too tight. The car is not staying on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's gone across on a couple of cars already.
Shepherd, number 21, the Citgo Ford, just in front of Joe Ruttman. Here's what happened there.
Whoa, I see why he went up. See that dust fly? Boy, you don't want to go up there.
He had to actually maneuver away from the 30 car. The 30 car actually went up higher, and that's what Morgan was doing, was trying to keep from hitting him.
And 2 cars got by on the bottom side when it happened. Let's take you back up front, where the battle for the lead is joined by Todd Bodine.
I told you Todd Bodine was on the car on the outside there going in the corner, number 75. He's eating Strickland up right now. Strickland looked like he had the dominant car, but Todd Bodine, boy, he's young and very, very aggressive.
The youngest of the 3 brothers from Chemung, New York. Now here's Schrader on the inside of the Quality Care Ford. Dick Trickle, number 15. Rick Mast, number 1. Ooh, Schrader slips up the hill.
You see Trickle there. He's fighting back, but I believe that Schrader, he makes the pass there. Dick Trickle will probably try to draft him right towards the front because both cars there are very fast.
Ernie, it looks like in traffic, almost everybody's having trouble keeping the car on the bottom when somebody's behind and below them.
Well, I tell you, the biggest thing is like when Kenny Schrader went into that corner, he was right underneath Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle was right at the right-hand side of his car, and that makes it where there's not any air holding Kenny Schrader's car down. So it just has to go up the racetrack. Now, if Dick Trickle wanted to, he could have really banged into Schrader and probably caused a wreck, and, you know, it was a give-and-take deal.
How do you know that? Ernie, how do you know that?
Which part of that?
Oh, I'm glad I don't sit in the middle up here. 21 laps are complete. 2 by 2. Here comes Todd Bodine looking on the inside of Hut Strickland.
Todd Bodine's worked his way to the bottom part of the racetrack, the fastest way around the racetrack. But as you said, Ernie, he's got to be very careful. The back end of that car will get very light coming up out of that corner.
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, Todd's car, he can't really go through the corner like he would want to go. If he would have been by himself, he would have been cleared him instantly.
Now, remember, 5 cars qualify for the All-Star race. Right now, it's Todd Bodine, Hut Strickland, Lake Speed up in the first 3 spots. Robert Presley and Jeff Burton, Rebestis number 8, that multicolored car, that rainbow-hued machine right behind Presley's green and black 33. Jeff Burton is on the transfer spot. He is the bubble car.
Now, the guy that's really trying to get up there right now is right behind them, and that is Mike Wallace. He is running in the 6th spot at the moment.
And then you have Ken Schrader after that, you know, with the Budweiser car.
Yeah, the temperature is going up in the kitchen right now. You're getting some really heavy heat up there in the front.
They've still got quite a few laps. So, you know, chassis are going to really play a key on this deal.
Todd Bodine has checked out.
Look at Robert Presley there. He made it up. I mean, he went down on the flat going into turn 3. That's Jeff Burton trying to make a move in the 8 car on the outside there.
And Ken Schrader's passed Mike Wallace. It moved Schrader up to 6th. Jeff Burton battling Robert Presley, sophomore and the rookie. Dave Marcus is on pit road. Ken Schrader banged that thumb again yesterday when he backed into the wall in qualifying. Halfway next time by.
You know what, Mike? The last thing on his mind right now is his thumb. He's trying to get in this Winston Select. I guarantee you he has no feeling whatsoever in that finger right now.
4 cars under a blanket. Whoa. Only 3 of them in qualified spots.
Jeff Burton is really flying around the bottom of this racetrack, side by side with Lake Speed going into turn 3.
That's the loosest part he can get right there is Kenny Schrader right on his bumper.
You see him backing up
car on the outside.
He had to get out of the throttle there, and he lost about 15 car lengths on the car that he was racing, Lake Speed.
Right, and Schrader jumped to the outside of him and went ahead and passed him.
Schrader's up there, Mike Wallace, Jimmy Donlevy, Hiley Myers, number 90, would like to be Todd Bodine well out front.
Bobby Hamilton just, oh, that's Petty going
Kyle
in
Petty.
there. Kyle Petty, how can you mistake that car?
You remember that one time Kyle had slowed down and you'd said something about a car smoking, and then all of a sudden he took back off, so he could have ignition trouble or something like that.
Kyle Petty out for the night, so is Dave Marcus, whose Olive Garden Chevy has been pushed to the garage. Napa, we keep America running. Let's show you how they're running at halfway. Todd Bodine, they're lapping past the 84 of Norm Benning. Only 5 cars to transfer. '31-year-old Todd Bodine leading them around the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Mike, he is checked out. I'm telling you, he has about a 15-20 car length lead at the moment. He looks like he is dialed in. The rest of them are just chasing where he used to be.
Bobby Hamilton down to the inside on Ricky Craven. Some good battling here. Meineke car 29, Steve Grissom, and Joe Nemechek in 87.
Look at Steve Grissom go to the outside. No deal. Ricky Craven, checkmate. He moved right up on him there.
This bunch has a lot of laps together in the Busch Grand National Series, but for Hamilton, they've all raced many years together. 29 laps down, 21 to go. There you see the lights along the inside of Charlotte Motor Speedway as they head back up into turns 3. There are the new grandstands at turn 4. Back to the stripe. 30 laps of 50. Schrader and Lake Speed are side by side up there.
That's Joe Nemechek there underneath Steve Grissom as they go into turn 1. Looks like Grissom got the spot there. He's moving up behind Bobby Hamilton, the 43 car.
That bunch 6 seconds behind the leader, and you see that Schrader has moved on up and dragged Robert Presley with him in 33, the green car.
Boy, Robert Presley's car is dancing around. That car looks really loose in the center part of the corner. He'll have to really be careful not to let anybody get on that right rear corner.
Ken Schrader is now third as it's a 2-car breakaway. Hut Strickland has also left the pack. Third, fourth, and here's the battle for fifth. One of these 3 cars will get in the big show.
Well, I think Lake Speed's fighting a pretty ill chassis at the moment. He's not able to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. You see Ward Burton in the 8-car there. He's waiting on the 9-car to go up as he's doing right there. He's chasing a bad chassis.
Now, Jeff Burton looked so strong early in the number 8 car.
Well, so did Lake Speed too. You know, it's but that's the thing. The racetrack's changing because the weather's changing. You know, the sun's down.
Did you see Lake Speed's car just as he went in the corner there? It went straight up the hill. He was real lucky to save it.
And Jeff Burton will get the spot, but what does it mean? Nemechek in the wall. Joe Nemechek grinds it against the concrete, and caution comes out once again. Joe Nemechek tries to drive it away, but it looks like his night here of All-Star Racing is over. 33 laps down, 17 to go in the Winston Open. We'll be right back. Highway transportation for TNN provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey, featuring Winnebago. Call 1-800-988-4884 to see why Cedar Ridge's choice of champions. As the sun sets in the west, from our Duralube aerial camera, have a look at Charlotte Motor Speedway here, where surprisingly many of the leaders have stopped under this caution flag. Brought out for Joe Nemechek's spin up into the wall at turn number 2. Now, Ken Schrader did not stop. He is the first of the 21 cars that are on the lead lap. This is the 4th caution of the night. Robert Presley is 2nd. Mike Wallace is 3rd. Lake Speed is 4th. Bobby Hillen Jr. is 5th. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, the leader going into that caution flag was Todd Bodine. He didn't want to stop, but he radioed in right before the caution. The car seemed to be running a little warm all of a sudden. Now, this is not something that was left over from my dinner a while ago. Some fan had a little picnic here at the racetrack all today. This paper plate was stuck to the front grill section of Todd Bodine's car, not allowing enough air to flow through it, therefore running it hot. They came in, threw it away, put 4 tires on, sent him back out. So I think Todd is okay now. Let's go to Randy.
But after Todd pitted, the next 4 guys stayed on the racetrack, so they would have about 33 laps on their tires as Greg Sachs pulls off a pit road. All the rest of the guys come down pit road, everybody complaining, loose, loose, loose. They took a couple of rounds of wedge for Morgan Shepherd, Michael Waltrip. Everybody took on 4 tires back out. The question up there in the booth, what about 33 laps on these tires? What about those 4 guys up front? Are they at a disadvantage now?
Randy, we'll find out when in just a moment here. That piece of paper plate may have been $28,000 costly to Todd Bodine.
Todd Bodine was very lucky. Most of the cars stopped with him. I thought he was really going to have terrible track position, but he had to stop, and everybody else kind of followed him in. It surprised me.
When they get the green, there'll be 13 laps to go as you look at the top 10. We've just completed lap number 36, working the 4th caution of the night. What do you think, Ernie? The 4 drivers who did not stop, will they have any kind of advantage, even though they're on 33-lap tires?
I tell you, looking at the 28 car, today we were practicing. We had 30, 35 lap tires on, put new tires on, maybe a 10th. So I don't think that was a real wise decision. Now, I'm sitting up here and looking at somebody doing another thing, and, you know, I could be totally wrong, but I really think that one of those 4 cars that stayed out is going to win this race.
Well, of course,
we'll see, won't we?
Right.
The biggest thing, though, if you had a real chassis problem, you could come in and put bite in the car, then that was a good stop for him.
Right. Now, what a kind of monkey see, monkey do world we have here. Todd Bodine stops because he has to. His grill is covered up by a paper plate. Almost everybody goes in with him.
Yeah,
he's very lucky.
I think that there are a lot of cars who are probably wanting to take that back.
Green flag. Ken Schrader, Robert Presley, Mike Wallace in number 90, Lake Speed in number 9, and Bobby Hillen Jr. substituting for Davy Jones are the 5 drivers who right now would transfer to the Winston Select.
Boy, Schrader got a good start, and I'll tell you, you can bet one thing, his right leg is to the floorboard in that car. With 13 laps to go, he's going to let it all hang out. Robert Presley's flying well, too.
Thumb up, man.
Thumb up, yeah.
Presley is there. He is Schrader's shadow as they come to the line with 12 laps to go.
The third car in that group is Mike Wallace, and he's not losing any ground whatsoever to leaders.
Here comes Todd Bodine on the outside. He is up to 6th. 1 spot away from a transfer.
The one thing about it, he'll run it just like at Daytona. He'll go in that third corner nearly wide open. I know that boy. I mean, there's no feathers on those legs.
6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and they're pulling down on Bobby Hillen. This is for the final transfer spot. Bodine goes to the outside, draws even with Hillen, into turn 1, makes the pass. He's in the show. 5 laps to go, or 10 laps to go, rather.
Wow, I'm telling you, you talk about moving. Todd Bodine went in that corner. He pulled 3 car lengths going in the corner on Bobby Hillen.
Sorry, this will be 10 laps to go when they come to the line. 4-car breakaway, but Todd Bodine is pulling the rest of the field up to them.
Todd Bodine is already in the transfer spot, so he is flying up through there.
These cars are not. Bobby Hillen, Ricky Craven, Bobby Hamilton.
These cars right here, the drivers are sweating because their crew chief's calling them and saying, okay, if you got anything, use it.
Right now, it's go hard or go home.
You got it.
Ricky Craven, the Kodiak car to the outside, moves up to 6th. Hutch Strickland, the green car on the inside, not in a great spot.
No, Hutch caught up in traffic, and I tell you what, he's going to have to be a magician to get himself in that top 5.
Now it's a 5-car breakaway. The front 5 that are in the show have broken away by 8 car lengths.
Mike, Ernie hit it right on the head. Track position is so important. A 1/10 of a second. I'd rather be in the lead right now and let them worry about passing me, and I had to have a little bit faster car because right now things are pretty even again.
I tell you what, you know, Todd Bodine is just coming through this traffic right now. But I don't think that they could have anything to do with Todd Bodine before he had put tires on.
I'm fixing to say it was the whole turn ahead of everybody, so
Right.
He's flying.
He's now up to 4th. He's past Lake Speed. These cars are battling for 6th. Front of the field, Schrader, Presley, Mike Wallace, Todd Bodine now in 4th, and in 5th, Lake Speed.
Well, he's going to be part of the fireworks thing. He keeps coming off turn 2 like he did just a second ago. He wasn't an inch off the wall. Todd Bodine is wide open and coming to the front.
From a pit stop with 15 laps to go, can he win this?
Oh, yeah. The way he's running, he can.
Butch Mock owns that car and twists the wrenches. The factory stores Thunderbird of Todd Bodine, number 75.
Mike, when you're that age, you don't know what you can't do.
Yeah, we're all 31 once.
Look at him going to the outside, coming off turn 4 right now. He's making a move on Presley.
2nd place.
Oh, man, he's going to be tough when he gets in the select, I'll promise you.
Now only Ken Schrader stands between Todd Bodine and victory lane, and Schrader's had quite a night. Crashed in qualifying, had to come from the back of the field, picked up the front spot when some of the leaders pitted, looking for victory lane and his 3rd transfer into the Winston Select from the open.
Mike, when they come by, it'll be 5 laps to go. Look how Bodine is pulling down on Schrader. He caught him some 6 car lengths in that one corner there.
Yeah, Todd's car is handling remarkable. It was handling like that before he ever pitted. I don't think he would have pitted if he didn't have to, you know, to get that stuff off the ground.
Further back in the field, we told you Schrader came from the back to the front. The other driver looking to do the same was Ted Musgrave. And he's back racing in this pack with Rick Mast, Bobby Hillen, Morgan Shepherd, the number 12 of Derek Cope, and here is Ted Musgrave.
Mike, I hate to say it, he's a day late and $1 short today. He won't get up there. Boy, that front bunch is checked out.
From the family channel Ford of Ted Musgrave, looking down the front straightaway into turn 1, while exiting turn 2, there is a battle for the lead. Todd Bodine has caught Kenny Schrader. There are 3.5 laps to go.
Watch from the center of the corner to the straightaway. Watch this car accelerate on the bottom part of this racetrack. Kenny Schrader has nothing for him. I guarantee you this is decided now as far as first.
That's incredible.
That's youth and enthusiasm. I almost got it out, didn't I?
He did. He got it out front again.
Boy, oh boy. I feel for Schrader. I know how he feels. He was giving it all he had, but Todd Bodine's car is exceptionally good.
Now, the final transfer spot, 5th spot, could again become a battle. if Ricky Craven can get somebody to draft with him. Here's first and second, third, fourth, fifth. Here's the white car, Craven. Bobby Hamilton just can't get close enough to give Craven any help to catch Lake Speed.
Well, I thought Craven might transfer, and he's still got a shot at it. He's giving it all he's got. You can see him pulling in there as we speak. He's right behind the 9-car Speed.
White flag next time by. The white car, Craven, is one spot away. There's the bubble car, Lake Speed.
Lake Speed's car will get real wide this last lap.
You know how that works, huh?
You know, I've never done that before, but yeah, I've seen it done.
Right. Last lap.
Mike, look what a lead Todd Bodine has on the second place to Schrader there. He must be 15 car lengths in the lead right on the bottom of the racetrack. You want to see a good race car? Look there, folks.
Now, Ricky Craven has Jeff Burton, and here comes Burton like he shot out of a cannon. If he gets side by side with Craven, that could nullify any battle for fifth. Todd Bodine's going to bring him home on this, the final lap of the Winston Select Open. For car owner Butch Bach at Factory Stores, Todd Bodine gets the checkered flag. Schrader is second, Presley is third, Wallace and Speed.
Boy, I bet Junie Donlevy, the owner of that 90 car, is dancing in the...
He is. Fifth place gets him in. Here's the pit of the winning crew.
I tell you, if Todd Bodine, if they do some really good stuff for this next deal, they could be tough.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
First time in a Winston Cup victory lane. Young Todd Bodine, Glenn Jarrett's there to meet him.
And he gets a big wife from his wife, a big hug from his wife, Glenn. You're not a big wife, Glenn. I'm sorry. I want to know something. Were you headed to a sale or something at a factory store outlet?
Yeah, I couldn't settle for second or third. We had such a good car, and it was my call to make the pit stop. I knew it was going to put us behind, but I didn't want to take the chance. I knew those guys were going to I thought they'd pit, knowing they couldn't keep up with us, but they didn't. Luckily, we got back to the front.
Well, when you took the lead back from Schrader there, you wasted no time in just pulling right on away. The car looked like it was flawless.
It's real good. It gets a little loose at the end of long runs, but, you know, it's something you got to live with to go fast, I guess. I like to say happy anniversary to my mother and father-in-law, 40th wedding anniversary.
One more question, Todd. Have you got something for them in the Winston Select now? You look like you got an awfully good car. You got something for those guys?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, it just depends how good they are. Gordon and Earnhardt, there was a lot of good cars in that Winston group, and we were pretty comparable during the practice run, so we'll just have to see.
Well, he's a happy young man right now. We're going to let him celebrate. Let's go back upstairs.
He has 7 Busch Grand National victories, and now he has a Winston Cup win in the Winston Open. Todd Bodine will be one of 5 drivers to transfer.
Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Winston Select live tonight on TNN. You've just witnessed the Winston Open. 50 great laps of racing, some wild battles in the pack. Todd Bodine to victory lane for the first time in a Winston Cup car. So our congratulations to Todd. A lot of shuffling in the last 15 or 20 laps among those top 10 drivers. To boil it down to the 5 will transfer to the Winston Select coming up in just a few moments. Randy Pemberton standing by with the driver who just squeaked into the field tonight for the big money.
Well, thanks, Rick. Lake Speed giving a few press notes down here. Lake just squeezed it in there. We talked earlier. Man, you just made it.
Well, closest counts too. Only, you know, this thing is pretty good. The car's pretty good. You've got to use so much strategy in this race. I was a little faster than Robert and Mike there at the end, but I didn't dare mess with them because the other cars were coming, and I knew if you get side by side, you might mess yourself up. So it was a little bit of playing a little Russian roulette there at the end, but the guys, the Spound, Mellon, 2 Ford guys are working on it now. We're going to make a little chassis adjustment, and I think maybe if we hit it just right, we might be really good this next time. Obviously, there when the track was still, the sun was out, we were good, and that was what I was afraid of. We were real good practice this afternoon. I said we're going to guess at a setup for tonight. I don't know how good we'd guess. We were pretty good, but we didn't guess quite good enough.
Okay, thanks, Lake. Every once in a while, a driver can learn a little something here in this Winston Open. Mike?
Thanks, Randy. Here is how they finish, and the first 5 go on to the All-Star Tilt tonight. Todd Bodine, Kenny Schrader, Robert Presley, Mike Wallace, and Lake Speed. Drivers who go home: Ricky Craven 6, Jeff Burton, Bobby Hamilton, Dick Trickle, Michael Waltrip, the pole sitter. disappointed. Rick Mast, Morgan Shepherd, Derek Cope, Bobby Hillen, and Hut Strickland had the car. The tires went away from him after the pit stop, he said. Ted Musgrave, Steve Grissom, John Andretti, Randy LaJoy, and Johnny Chapman. Randy McDonald, Chuck Bound, Jay Hedgecock, Greg Sachs, Dave Marcus, Smith, Hilton, Nemechek, Benning, Kyle Petty, Rutman, Teague, Allen, Mayfield, Burton, and Carter. The last 5 of those not running at the end of the event. Well, now they have begun to set up for pre-race for the All-Star night. We'll be taking your calls as well, too. Answer a couple when we come back on TNN. Call in your questions just about tonight's Winston All-Star race. 1-800-451-7331.
Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway on TNN. The Winston Select tonight. The Winston Open complete. Todd Bodine the winner. Field is set now for 70 laps of what's going to be a fantastic event coming up for all the money. The AutoZone Tech Fact coming up now, brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Well, thanks, Rick. You know, NASCAR has instituted a rule change. You're looking at the rear spoiler of Mark Martin's number 6 Valvoline Ford. Now, prior to the rules changes, all rear spoilers were 6 1/4 inches high, both Fords and Chevrolets. Front air dams were all 3 1/2 inches off the ground. Now let's take a look over here at Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet, number 24. Now the Chevy spoilers are 5 3/4 inches, a little bit, a 1/4 inch shorter than what the Ford. The Ford is now 6 inches, 1/4 inch difference on the spoiler. Move up to the front air dam. Look at Gordon's front air dam here. A little higher off the ground, only 1/4 inch. Right now, it is 4 inches off the ground on level surface. Mark Martin's Ford, 3 3/4 inches. 1/4 inch difference between the Fords and the Chevys. That's a 1/2 inch difference overall. May or may not make a lot of difference, as Ernie Irvan said, but there were a lot of loose race cars in that first race. Randy?
Well, Kenny Schrader, you talk about being a tough customer. They say that's Dale Earnhardt, but this guy's tough. Check out this thumb. He got it taken partly off about a week ago. Kenny, amazing that you're even out there to me. You had a great run and you're in the show.
Yeah, we Todd blowed us off there at the end. We'd like to not take our tires, but we didn't come here tonight to win the Winston Open. You know, that's not why we came. We came for the Winston, and we was running second. We're okay.
How is the thumb?
I know it's there. Just when the heart beats, is a wow, wow, but we'll be okay.
Okay, good luck.
Okay, man.
So Kenny Schrader fighting through some discomfort tonight with that thumb injury. Turned in a great ride to second spot in the Winston Open. Drivers going to be introduced here at the Speedway coming up in just a few moments. 30 laps, and then 10 laps for all the money. Glenn Jarrett back on pit road.
One young man who everybody had their eyes on this afternoon in practice, Jeff Gordon, driver of the DuPont Chevrolet. Jeff, that car was awfully fast today.
That was the daytime. This is nighttime. You know, we'll just have to see. It was awful strong today, and, you know, it's kind of a guessing game what it's going to be like at nighttime, but if today's any indication, you know, I feel really good. This team has worked real hard for this, and, you know, tonight's going to be a good night for us.
We talked about a driver being in the zone at the top part of our show. You guys have really been in the winning zone most of this year.
Well, you know, we've been real consistent lately, and that's teamwork right there. We've been in contention and won some races, and, you know, we've really have gotten the job done on the racetrack, and, you know, we all make mistakes sometimes, and, you know, right now we're learning how not to make mistakes and see what it takes to win more races. But, you know, this is one that's just bonsai and go for it, and that's what we're here to do tonight.
Okay, Jeff Gordon, awfully excited. In case you're wondering what he's doing, he's sitting on the back of the convertible. They're going to take the drivers out, parade them around in front of the fans. Jeff Gordon pulls away.
As modest as he is talented, as we get a look at the man usually in black tonight in silver and orange. We'll see how Dale Earnhardt and the rest of the field does coming up. Back live under the lights at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Winston Select live on TNN. These wonderful pictures from our Duralube aerial camera tonight on TNN. Great to have you along. The field set now for the Select. All the money on the line. Drivers being introduced. Just your average Saturday night at a stock car race with about 140,000 people looking on as Dale Earnhardt is introduced to the crowd tonight. Earnhardt thinks he's got a little something for these other competitors tonight, as does Rusty Wallace, a couple of drivers who've been to victory lane here at Charlotte several times, and the fans are ready to see him do battle. 30 laps, then probably an inverted start for the second 30, and then the 10-lap shootout. Randy Pemberton on pit road.
Well, Rusty Wallace in his convertible. Can you hear the crowd? I can feel the excitement. Can you?
They're rumbling pretty hard, man. I'm getting up for the game, so to speak. It's a neat deal. I love coming for this Winston. You have to drive our ends off, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's Rusty Wallace starting on the outside of the front row. Mike?
Thank you, Randy. Welcome back, everybody. The excitement starts to build. Can you feel it?
I can feel it right now. I'm going to check you out for tough, and I'm going to check you out for tough in just a second.
Uh-oh.
I think I can spin him out.
not up here, boys. This booth's not big enough. Ernie, when you're running in this race, can you feel the effect of the crowd on a night like this?
Well, you know, definitely when they parade the drivers around in the pace cars, you can really feel it. You know, I mean, you just get more and more pumped up. Now, when you're in the race car, you don't really know it because it's dark on the outside, but you know it's there, but the adrenaline just keeps going.
Okay, let's pick a winner. I want to see how good you guys are.
Well, if you want long odds, take Kenny Schrader. He has transferred into the Winston Select now for the 3rd time. It's his 7th Winston Select. He has never finished worse than 4th. So if you want to make a, what do they call it when you bet on the top 3? Not a, well, whatever you call it, because obviously I don't do that kind of thing. But if you want to bet on somebody to finish in the top 3 from the back, bet Kenny Schrader.
That's a good bet. I think that Kenny's gonna definitely be a factor in this race, but I don't think he's gonna be strong enough to win. I don't really want to make a pick on who to win because I'm the one that said that one of them guys from the top 5 was gonna win this Winston Open. Todd Bodine proved me wrong, so it shows how much I know.
All right, buddy. Put it on the line.
I'm going to go with the eye of the tiger. I was looking at Jeff Gordon when they were talking to him there. He had that look of a winner. That's the guy I'm going to go with tonight. I think he's got it all.
Now, come on, buddy. We got to do something that's out of the ordinary. You know, everybody's sitting here thinking that Jeff Gordon is going to be real tough.
Well,
there's no doubt.
You wouldn't even guess. What do you mean?
Now, see, but I've also got, you know, some hidden deal because, you know, I'm still part of the 28 car and Robert Yates Racing. So, you know, in one way, you know, I want them to win the race.
See what happens, buddy? One guy goes out on a limb. Everybody else has got a saw. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett with tonight's Peerless Faucets Innovation in Motion. Peerless, get more out of your faucet than just water. Glenn?
Well, thanks, Mike. And I think one of the greatest innovations that this sport has ever had a part of being is the fact that R.J. Reynolds got involved in this sport 25 years ago. We know that this is the 25th, the silver anniversary of that. This man, T. Wayne Robertson, who is president sports marketing of R.J. Reynolds, has been involved since day one. First of all, thank you from the sport for R.J. Reynolds' involvement, and thank you so much for the Winston, this our 11th running.
Well, Glenn, thank you. This is a phenomenal event. It's just unbelievable how much electricity is here. You stand on this racetrack and see these fans. It's unbelievable. It's a different event. It's a unique event, but I think it's proven to be a very successful event.
Well, we appreciate, again, their involvement in everything that we have done. Also, for the format of the race, also for the fact that they have chosen Charlotte Motor Speedway, what we think is one of the showcase speedways in America, one of the showcase sports arenas in America. Once again, thanks, Wayne.
Well, I tell you, these race fans deserve the best because they support us 33 times a year, and that's they're the best fans in the world, the best sports fans in the world. We're very happy to have them here tonight, and we're very happy these competitors put on one heck of a show. And R.J. Reynolds is very proud of their association with NASCAR Winston Cup Racing.
And NASCAR is with R.J. Reynolds.
All those parade cars are silver in honor of Winston's silver anniversary of their promotion in the sport. Calling our 800 line from Gary from Ontario. Do they use special paint tonight? John McKenzie of Motorsports Design says they've all got a lot of those Scotch Light glow-in-the-dark decals. We'll see some when we come back.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by A1 Steak Sauce. It's how steak is done.
Back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the fans on their feet watching these 20 drivers be introduced to the crowd tonight. Might be the most exciting moment in Winston Cup racing that I've ever witnessed up close. It is just fantastic here tonight. Beautiful night for racing. Dusk has fallen, cooled off, maybe 65, 70 degrees right now. It'll be a great night to go racing here in just a short time when we open it up for the first 30 laps of the Winston Select. Randy Pemberton is standing by with a driver who went to victory lane in the very first Winston Select, Darrell Waltrip.
What do you think of these shoes? That's the couple of hot feet. Definitely the right one he wants it to be hot tonight. Darrell Waltrip, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I can't wear these on a road course because they spark when they come together. I was walking through the garage yesterday, and I clicked my heels and knocked the whole corner of the building off yesterday. So these things are hot.
Daryl, reflect on this race. You've won it before. The excitement here, you can feel it.
Oh, yeah. This is, you know, under the lights. When I went under the lights, it changed everything. And it's just a great race. And no matter what happens, you know, one guy's going to go home from here tickled to death. Everybody else is going to go home from here kicking their tires. So I just hope we have a good, clean race. And it's a tight race. And I got a fast car tonight. I'd like to be up there for the win. The Western Auto guys will give me something to work with.
Okay, good luck tonight. Mike Joy will give us the starting lineup for tonight's Winston Select. Mike.
Thanks, Randy. Bobby Labonte makes his first effort in NASCAR's All-Star event, and he's on the pole with a new qualifying record. Car owner Joe Gibbs' win here at Charlotte last October gets Bobby Labonte into tonight's elite field through that unique qualifying method where you run a lap, make a pit stop, change 2 tires, and come back out. The 1991 Busch champion, Labonte, is on the pole. Rusty Wallace won the 1989 Winston Select with a controversial late pass on Darrell Waltrip. 8 victories last year. Puts him in his 9th straight Winston Select. Row 2, Dale Jarrett makes his 4th consecutive start in this event. Won a 500-miler here last October to get his invitation. Outside row 2, Dale Earnhardt, the only 3-time winner of the All-Star race, with his new quicksilver colors in tonight's Under the Lights extravaganza. In row number 3, Sterling Marlin, twice a runner-up in the Select, including last year. 2 straight wins in the Daytona 500 earned him his ticket to tonight's show. Starting 6th, Ricky Rudd, who's won at least 1 race for the past 12 seasons. Only 4 drivers have competed in all 11 All-Star races. Rudd's one of them. Row number 4, Jeff Gordon. The boy wonder of NASCAR Winston Cup racing gets his 2nd appearance in the All-Star race, winning the Brickyard and the Coke 600 last season. Mark Martin, a close runner-up in 1993. He makes his 6th start in the All-Star race. Won at Watkins Glen in Atlanta last year. Row number 5, Jeff Bodine is the defending champion of the Winston Select. 3 wins in 1994. 10 All-Star race starts in 11 seasons. Darrell Waltrip won the first Winston Select in '85. He's been in every one of these events, and he's in as a former Winston Cup champion tonight. Row number 6, Brett Bodine makes his 4th start in the Winston Select. Junior Johnson's Ford won at Darlington last season. Brett Bodine's behind the wheel this year. Terry Labonte won the Winston in 1988. He started all but one of these All-Star races, had 3 wins last year to earn his position tonight. Row number 7, Bill Elliott led almost every lap in 1986 in the All-Star show. Won at Darlington last September to earn his 11th straight All-Star start. Eldon Sawyer starts only his 3rd Winston Cup race, but he's tabbed to drive Junior Johnson's Ford that last year won in July at Daytona and Talladega. Jimmy Spencer makes his 1st appearance in the Winston Select. Those 2 thrilling from behind wins for Junior Johnson puts him in the show. Todd Bodine, the winner of the Winston Select Open for Butch Mock. Kenny Schrader inside of row 9. 3 times a runner-up in the Winston Select. Robert Presley, former standout in the Busch Series, runs with the big stars tonight. Presley, a rookie. Mike Wallace, for Junie Donlevy, 1st All-Star start for both car owner and driver. And finally, Blake Speed makes his 5th appearance in the Winston Select. Well, trackside, all the cars are aligned on the starting grid. There you see them, all the drivers, all the crews, and Glenn Jarrett, who's with the 1986 All-Star winner.
And nearly the '87 winner. Bill Elliott has come close a couple times, won the thing, but how do you feel about chances tonight, Bill?
Well, I don't know. I think we've got a long road to go, but I'm going to tell you what, we're going to give it our best effort. You know, all these guys worked hard, and all the McDonald's people's been great. It's just being great to being back in the Winston Select. I mean, all these RJR and all the fine people up at Winston have done a lot with this program. I mean, you can tell by the turnout we've got here tonight, it's unreal.
We wish you the best of luck tonight. Thanks a lot for being with us. Now let's go down to Randy.
Folks, this is Eldon Sawyer. Yes, you heard it correctly. This is his 3rd Winston Cup race. He finished 2nd in Loudon last week in the Busch Series. Elton, wow, we've all been talking about feeling the excitement here. What's it like for you in this car? What are you going to do out here tonight?
Well, I tell you, Randy, you know, it's quite an honor just to be here. But, you know, I've done a lot of Saturday night racing over the years.
nothing quite like this, but we're looking forward to it. You know, this is the best race car drivers in the world, and I'm just really happy to be a small part of it.
Okay, good luck tonight, Elton.
The thoughts of Elton Sawyer as he prepares for only his 3rd start in a Winston Cup car. Well, the field about ready to go. Time now for our national anthem.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take it back up here high above the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're just as excited about getting this Winston Select underway as you are. Ready? And I know you're just about
Ladies and gentlemen, here to sing our national anthem, host of the North American Sportsman and Country Music Recording Star from Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. Gary Morris.
We're just a couple of minutes away from the national anthem, and in that couple of minutes, take time to get you a deep breath of that fresh Carolina air and take a look at these 20 great American drivers.
We'll be back with the anthem. Gary Morris will be ready to sing for us. First, we're going to take a timeout on TNN.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Big response from the crowd for the national anthem and the Air Force flyby. Here are some flyers on their own. Rusty Wallace settled in and set to go. And look at the brightness of Charlotte Motor Speedway. The brightest stars, those sit in these cars. The Iceman, Terry Labonte. Mark Martin. What a frenzy of activity within that compact frame. Bobby Labonte with a Carolina Panthers helmet. Farmer Joe Gibbs, his first all-star start. Perhaps the Hamburglar tonight, Bill Elliott, former winner. Jeff Gordon. Those are those eyes Buddy Baker spoke of minutes ago. And these people that have come here tonight because, as we showed you earlier, there is no other night like this in all of stock car racing. Nobody knows what'll happen over the next 70 laps, but they know it'll be a night to remember. The man in black with the car in silver, helmet in silver.
It don't look like anybody's going to give anything away.
Engines running, crews running, back to pit road.
Ernie, are your hands sweating just a little bit?
I was wondering if anybody needed a relief driver.
That may be the case before we're done here. We will be back for the start of Stock Car Racing's all-star event, the Winston Select, live on TNN after this. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Ernie Irvan. Glenn Jarrett and Randy Pemberton on pit road. If you need any more adrenaline, any more caffeine, or any more miles per gallon, they've just let off tons of fireworks here in the air. And the anticipation probably couldn't get any tighter than it is right now.
I tell you, I'm feeling it up here in the booth. I'd like to be sitting in that car feeling it. And I know all these drivers, they're really, really excited about what's going on and being taken apart in the Winston. And now it's time to get to business.
Buddy, I know you got your helmet on the shelf, but you got to miss this.
Oh, I think anybody that's ever been in a race car wants to be out there. This is special. This is a driver's race. You know, it's not a, will my car last? Will my car get loose? Will my car get tight? This is let it hang out, win the race, and brag for a whole year that you won the ultimate race for drivers.
Tonight, you will ride in the Valvoline Ford of Jack Roush. Mark Martin behind the wheel. And now look at how bright everything looks under the lights. The whole inside of that car is lit up from the track lighting. There is Mark, hard at work, scuffing the tires, getting set to go from the roof of the Valvoline Cummins diesel Ford of Jack Roush Racing. The boy wonder. Dale Earnhardt's pretty good at handing out nicknames, and that's what he tabbed Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet. That says, "Get well soon, Papa Joe Hendrick." Rick Hendrick's dad. Rick owns the car. There is Jeff Gordon getting set to go to work. You see that seat with the shoulder and the side headrest, and all the way down past his knee. That seat is supported on each side, as are those of most of the Winston Cup and Busch Grand National drivers.
Mike, that seat saved a lot of drivers from having a lot of injuries. It holds you stationary in the car.
And it spreads any impact out over as much of the body's length as possible. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, I had a chance to talk to Sterling Marlin just before he pulled away. You know, he crashed his car in practice, the primary car that he qualified in practice today. Went to the backup car. He only got one short practice period. Asked him how it went. He said, "Hey, man, it's faster than the other one." It is the car that he won Darlington with. He does have to start in the rear, but also Elton Sawyer and Jimmy Spencer missed the drivers' meeting today, so they also will have to go to the rear of the field. Tony said he was going to have Sterling start ahead of them because their mishap happened before the drivers' meeting.
Elton Sawyer may have still been traveling here from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, where he will race in the Busch Grand National event tomorrow that you'll see live here on TNN. Chevrolet Monte Carlo pace car pulls in for the first of 3 segments. They're ready to race. G-Star holds them down, and Bobby Labonte's on the gas, and we're under green. Rusty Wallace right with them as they head for turn 1.
Side by side, going into turn 1. Couldn't put a newspaper between the 2 cars. Looks like Rusty's going to do the same thing that happened in the open. You see him moving out. Up.
Bobby Labonte right with him side by side.
Boy, Bobby's got a lot of strength in that car. He dropped back going in that corner. You see Earnhardt moving by to get second place. Ricky Rudd's there challenging now to try to take over third spot.
Look at Rudd come up the outside in that tied Ford. Dale Jarrett drafting tightly on Ricky Rudd, trying to push those 2 Fords toward the front. With Jeff Gordon moving underneath Mark Martin, and now underneath Dale Jarrett. From Mark Martin, looking ahead at that Ford Chevy battle. Earnhardt.
Whoa!
Oh, it's starting early, folks.
Yep. Got his attention. For those that just joined us, the silver car there is Dale Earnhardt. He's in the lead right at the moment. This is a special paint job just for this race.
Sparks fly as chassis bottom in turn 1, and Earnhardt has the lead. Ricky Rudd in second. Here's the third place car, Jeff Gordon.
Boy, Jeff Gordon made a power move going into turn 1. Took over third place. You see him moving in on Ricky Rudd as we speak.
Mark Martin to the outside of Rusty Wallace.
1 lap ago, Rusty Wallace was leading that race.
What happened to the 2 car?
Look at Jeff Gordon making a move to the bottom side of Ricky Rudd. Last year they got together in this very same spot in the corner and had a terrible rut.
Gordon squeezed it on in there, and Rudd said it's too early for this kind of foolishness. Let him go.
Well, they better all get after that 24. Jeff Gordon is like he's on a mission here tonight. He was very fast in practice, and he's fast in the race.
Watching Bobby Labonte, the Interstate Battery Chevy. He is 4th. Gordon has caught Earnhardt. Daytona 500 deja vu.
Boy, if I was Jeff Gordon, I'd sit there for a couple of laps, but I know young men, they don't like to run second.
Youth and enthusiasm, old age and treachery. Who do you like?
Boy, I like all this whole field. They're in the loser in the bunch.
Todd Bodine, who won the Open winner, and Sterling Marlin, who started from the back with that backup car. They're moving up on Brett Bodine in the Lowe's number 11. 9th place is the battle. The Bodine brothers squeeze it together off into turn 1.
I tell you, Todd Bodine is flying in the 75 car there, the first car in that shot. Here comes Jeff Gordon making a run on the lead.
Kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Brings Rudd with him.
Oh, Ricky says not now. Not there.
No, Dale Earnhardt said, not now.
Riding with Jeff Gordon. Looking back at Dale Earnhardt.
I like my odds a little better now, Ernie.
I'll tell you, the hearts in the grandstand that are still beating are beating a bit faster now. Let's go to the leader's pit. Randy?
These guys are talking to their crew chiefs right now. Jeff Gordon just radioed Ray Evernham, said the car is a little tight. Wow, if he's tight right now and they loosen him up, he's going to be gone. That car's hauling.
What'll that mean when he calls that in?
You know, it's just a matter of the front end's pushing a little bit. But, you know, I think if you'd ask him now, it's probably a little bit different because he was right under Dale Earnhardt's rear bumper before.
Todd Bodine blasts past Dale Jarrett.
Boy, I mean blasted by. He's 3 car lengths in one corner there. This car is hooked up.
He is in 8th place. He started 16th. A little further back in the field. A lot of early battling. That's Darrell Waltrip underneath Jimmy Spencer.
Boy, I tell you, he's got his work cut out for him. You see him touch just a little bit. Jimmy Spencer gives up absolutely nothing.
What a show he put on at New Hampshire on the Busch race last week live on TNN.
You see Waltrip, he can't go much lower. Left side of that car is right on the yellow line through the corner.
Hey, good run for Robert Presley. Moves up past Brett Bodine. Presley on the 33. Schrader on the high side, right side of your screen. Number 25, the Bud Chevrolet. Still feeling things out here in the early going. Wallace, last year's winner, Jeff Bodine, and youngest brother Todd.
Boy, I tell you, it's good. The 75 car seems to have so much forward bite up out of the corner, and he's able to close 2-3 car lengths from the center of the corner here on. I mean, these are good race cars.
I tell you, what the deal is he's being able to pick the throttle up right in the middle of the corner before anybody else is able to do it. And you know, it's not so much a forward traction deal. It's also, you know, he's getting a lot of adhesion through the side of the car too.
Well, Butch Mock and those guys have really got some good motors. You see him moving up right there. I mean, this race car is fast off the corner. He backs off just a little bit, thinks of it. That's his brother he's trying to race with. That's Jeff Bodine just in front of him.
This battle's for 6th place. Now remember, at the end of this 30-lap segment, they will throw the caution flag, and the fans balloted on the way into the racetrack today whether or not to invert the field, and nobody yet knows what the result of that vote was. Now, every year they have voted to invert the field. Here goes Todd underneath big brother Jeff.
Just off that corner. You look at that car go down the back straightaway. I mean, it's a rocket ship. Jeff fighting back on the outside. Todd's underneath. Boy, that car is hooked up, or it would get around sideways there.
2nd place. Give Ricky Rudd the bottom side of the racetrack, and he has the measure of Earnhardt.
You know, I think this is answering a lot of questions. NASCAR was wondering about aerodynamics on these cars and down pressure. You see the Ford running just as well as Chevrolet there.
We'll see. And the Bodines are battling. Now at the Brickyard last year was Brett and Jeff here fighting for 7th. Well, Todd's going to drop in behind his oldest brother.
I think Todd might just be a little too loose to run on the bottom side very long like that. But here he comes as we speak.
I think Peter Giles builds the motors for Todd Bodine. You know, he also does the motors for Ricky Rudd too.
Give Peter Giles, crew chief Troy Selberg, and the rest of that Butch Mock team a nod as he is moving on up.
So is Sterling Marlin. He is moving up through here in the 4 car. He's moved in on Jeff Bodine going down the back straightaway.
Morgan McClure Kodak Chevy in bright yellow, right behind last year's winner Jeff Bodine. Then it's Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte in this pack. This is for 9th on back. Jeff Gordon's your leader, Ricky Rudd, Earnhardt, Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin in this pack. Todd Bodine and then this one. Something about racing under the lights. The colors are brighter. The action all seems more intense. And because the infield and the outfield are blacked out, your view is more focused. Doesn't get much better than this on a Saturday night in Charlotte. We'll be right back with the Winston Select Live. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the jewel of stock car racing. For reflected in the lights and seen from our Duralube aerial camera. 19 laps complete. Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd. Third place now is Mark Martin. He has passed Bobby Labonte and Dale Earnhardt. In that battle for third, there's first and second. And here's the 3-car race for third.
Boy, I was watching Mark Martin just before we got back on the air. I mean, he was looking out the right door. That car was so loose, but it didn't seem to check him up a bit. He stayed right in the throttle and, I mean, never deviated. Passed the car in the next corner, as a matter of fact.
Let's ride with him, see how he works through this next corner.
I tell you what's really unique about Mark is he'll take his right hand and actually get both hands together and going on the left side. You know, it's different than anybody else does.
That car is handling well, though. You see how still his hands are through the corner there? That's a good handling race car. Watch him as he goes in. That's what Ernie was talking about. Over very far on the left-hand side there. Look at the spoke in the wheel, how still it was through that corner.
Very smooth. That's a car that's working. Let's go to pit road. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, he says that the car's got a little bit of a push in it. He has talked to the crew about adjusting the track bar at the brake and also about maybe putting a rubber in the right rear to try to loosen it up a little bit. But looks to me like the racetrack's starting to come through him a little bit right now. Like you said, when you see from inside the car, it looks to be working pretty well.
That it does. Battle for fifth. Todd Bodine on the bottom underneath Earnhardt, who has now faded to 7th place. Rusty Wallace and Todd Bodine moving fast.
Earnhardt's car is not working at all in the corners right now. Todd Bodine, he don't have that problem.
All right, I want to get this out of the way. They said Earnhardt went to Jeff Gordon and said, have you got any grade DuPont?
Oh, please,
Gary
man.
Clem, our director. That's his pun, and he can keep it. Earnhardt is now in 7th place. See, you painted it gray.
Yeah, we understand, yeah. Let's get back to this great race here.
That's Rusty Wallace leading Todd Bodine. The two Fords drafting together. They passed Earnhardt Chevrolet, and they're running 5th and 6th. It is Chevy, Ford, Ford, Chevy, Ford, Ford. 6 laps to go in this first segment.
Boy, oh boy, you know, when you talk about are they going to invert the field, you know they're going to. People want to see these guys come up through that field.
I tell you what, I think we've got some strokers in this field, so we're going to have some guys that are wanting to start in the front of the second segment. And you know, I don't think Jeff Bodine or one of the other guys didn't run real good in the first segment last year, and they started in the front, and man, it was hard to pass them.
You know, we're showing you right now Rusty Wallace and Bodine fighting it out for position here. The reason we're doing this is the lead car is checked out. Jeff Gordon has almost a full corner on everybody else. Ricky Rudd's got a big distance on himself in 3rd place. So this is the race we want to follow because this is for a big position here.
5 laps to the caution flag and ends segment 1. Jeff Gordon is the man out front. Ricky Rudd in 2nd, Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte.
There's Darrell Waltrip passing Jeff Bodine on the bottom side. You see Jeff didn't fight. He might be doing just what Ernie said. He might be playing a little bit of hooky there as far as what he has.
That's for 11th place. At the back of the field, Robert Presley is 20th. Kenny Schrader is 19th. 18th is Brett Bodine. 17th, Elton Sawyer. 16th, Jimmy Spencer. 15th. Number 9, Lake Speed. 14th, Mike Wallace. 13th, Bill Elliott. Jeff Bodine, 12th. This man is 11th, Darrell Waltrip.
Well, I tell you, Darrell Waltrip's car, handling-wise, looks as good as any race car out there. You see what a distance he's put on Jeff Bodine in just 3 laps there.
Now, Waltrip did not win a race last year or this year, but as a past Winston Cup champion, he is eligible to compete in the Winston Select.
They ought to put him in there just because of what he's been for this sport.
Good point.
I tell you, Darrell, when I talked to Darrell in the garage there, Darrell told me he's got something for these boys, he said. And I said, well, now's the time to show it.
Jeff Bodine report on the radio, two-way radio between he and his crew as the car seems down on power. May have a leaking exhaust header. Let's go back up front where Jeff Gordon is looking for the bonus money that goes to the winner of this first segment in a lap. Randy Pemberton, 2 laps.
Jeff Gordon says car a little tight in turns 1 and 2, but it's perfect in 3 and 4. He said, Ray, honestly, I don't know how we can get it any better, though. That's Jeff Gordon.
Thanks, Randy. He has a 3.2-second lead. The caution should fly next time.
Ernie, I can hear that music we entered in here. They call them the Rainbow Warriors. I hear that, oh. Because he has checked out.
Don't sing.
No.
There's the caution flag. Segment 1 goes to Jeff Gordon. Ricky Rudd is second. Mark Martin is third. Bobby Labonte is fourth. Rusty Wallace is fifth. Todd Bodine is sixth. Seventh is Dale Earnhardt. Eighth is Sterling Marlin. Ninth is Terry Labonte. And 10th is Dale Jarrett. Will they invert the field? Stay tuned.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Look at the smoke coming from the exhaust of Mark Martin's car.
Uh-oh, that's real trouble there.
He finished third in this first segment as they roll down toward pit road with the crew chief of the second place car, or rather, let's check with Randy Pemberton.
Well, on that Mark Martin story, earlier on today, the rumor was going in the garage area that Mark had an oil pressure problem. They left that engine in. Jack Roush, of course, one of the best engine builders in this series. They thought they had it corrected. Maybe they do, but evidently it's smoking. So we'll check in with Roush here as the cars come on to pit road.
Well, the only guy that could keep Jeff Gordon in sight that time was Ricky Rudd. And with Billy Engel, his crew chief now, at least you could see him, Billy.
Yeah, sure can. Little Todd Ford was running pretty good. I don't know if we got anything for that 24 car or not. He's awful stout. Our lap times got pretty close to him right there at the end, but I think he was just holding off to keep stinking the show completely up.
Well, you've got the car in now. What changes are you going to make on it?
We're going to make just a little bit of a change to free it up some. When the fuel load got down on it, the car got a little tight in the middle of the corner. He had to wait on it to get back on the throttle some. So I'll make a little adjustment here to free her up a little bit, and that'll give me an indication of what to do for that last 10, because we only are allowed 11 gallons of fuel here during this whole thing. So I'm going to be fighting that problem again in that last 10 laps. So hopefully my adjustment here will tell me what to do in that last 10. That's the one that pays the big bucks anyway.
Well, that's what they're all shooting for. He's going to make a little adjustment now, try to learn something in this next segment. It's a crapshoot anyway.
Now, Glenn, on this pit stop, which is leisurely because it's a 10-minute break between segments, the crews can do anything they would on a normal Winston Cup pit stop. And then they'll go back out and, depending on the vote, either line back up in the order they were running, or the field will be inverted. You see a NASCAR inspector at every car to make sure that no unauthorized work is done on these machines. But they are hard at work under the hood there of Jeff Gordon's car.
Mike, I'm very confused. They're not raising the hood on the 6 car or anything. I really don't understand this. They're not working on the 6 car at all. They're just doing a minor adjustment, wiping this and fixing that. It don't look like they're worried about it shooting the oil out the exhaust pipe.
We'll check on that story when we come back to Charlotte Motor Speedway and NASCAR Racing's All-Star Night. The Winston Select, live on TNN, continues after this. Well, break time marches on our A1 Steak Sauce Pit Stop Time Clock, brought to you by A1 Steak Sauce, the spicy A1 Bold. Together, they're how steaks are done. What's going on pit road, Glenn Jarrett?
Okay, guys, we're watching the work go on Dale Earnhardt's car, and the crew chief, Andy Petrie, has been huddling with Dale. Let's see if we can get a word with Dale to see exactly what is going on. I see a little work going on in the front end of the car. And now he's talking with Andy again. They've been making a lot of adjustments. Remember the nightmare for the crew chief piece that we did? It seems like they might be in the middle of one right now. Dale's still talking to Andy. Dale, what seems to be the problem with the car?
Well, it was real loose in the first part, and I thought it was a lot better than that last night. In the last practice, we run really good, so we made some adjustments. Now I think we'll be better. See if we can get back to the front on this 30 lapper, and then see what we do in 10.
Okay, the work continues. They're going back in conference now. Dale talking again to his crew chief, Andy Petrie. We'll follow up on the story. Let's go to Randy right now.
Well, this is the front grille of Mark Martin's Ford. Said they detected a little smoke earlier. Went and talked to Jack Roush. He didn't know anything about it. Mark said the engine is fine. They placed a little more tape on this front grille. Mark said the car, it just isn't loose enough. They want to tape it down, stick the nose, try and loosen it up a little bit. So evidently no engine problem that they know of with the 6 car. As far as Jeff Gordon is concerned, possible power steering leak. They add a little fluid to that automobile, but that's what's going on down this end of pit road. Mike?
Randy, that smoke from Mark's car coming into the pits looked pretty ominous. Hopefully it is nothing serious. The Winston night on TNN. What a crowd here tonight. 4.5 minutes. We'll be back to racing with segment 2. And folks, surprise, the field will be inverted. Robert Presley will start the second segment on the pole. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway and TNN's live coverage of the Winston Select. Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Ernie Irvin. Here is your Goodyear mid-race recap, brought to you by Goodyear #1 in tires. 3 leaders in this first segment, 3 lead changes. Average speed 178.3 miles per hour, not very far off of what they qualified. And goose eggs for cautions, caution laps, and cars out of the race. Jeff Gordon, first 25 circuits. Dale Earnhardt led 4. Rusty Wallace led a lap. Here's Randy Pemberton.
Well, guys, I've never run for $250,000, so I don't know how this is. I came over to ask Ray Evernham a question. Jeff didn't want to talk to us, understandably so. Asked Ray Evernham not to talk to anybody during this pit stop. Now, I know this is important, but the only thing I can tell you is they added a little power steering, and that is it. Ray's going to stay tight-lipped until this race comes to a checkered flag. Glenn Jarrett?
Okay, I'm standing by Dale Jarrett's Texaco Haviland Ford. He started 3rd, fell back to 10th, and a couple problems. Dale, what's going on?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a miss there, and then we started out loose, and then we got pretty tight, so we've adjusted the track bar, and hopefully that'll be enough.
Okay, they also set the timing on the car. As you can hear, he has fired it up and is pulling away, hopefully to do better in this second segment. We'll be right back with the start of that after this break.
In 1 lap, they'll be racing. They invert the field and put Robert Presley and Kenny Schrader on the front row. Brett Bodine and Jimmy Spencer in row 2. Elton Sawyer and Lake Speed in row number 3. Jeff Bodine and Mike Wallace in the 4th row. Bill Elliott and Darrell Waltrip, row 5. Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte in row 6. Row 7, Sterling Marlin and Dale Earnhardt. Row 8, Todd Bodine and Rusty Wallace. Row 9, Bobby Labonte and Mark Martin still smoking in the 10th row. Ricky Rudd and Jeff Gordon. It may be a burnt piston on Mark Martin's car.
That happens a lot of times when you tape off the nose like that. It changes the air through the engine, and a lot of times you can burn one down.
From the frustration in Earnhardt's voice, from the tight-lippedness of Ray Evernham, you know how much pride is at stake in this race tonight. Martin has let Jeff Gordon move ahead of him for the restart. He's going to try to limp on home, but restart from the back of the field.
Wow, that's too bad. He was running so well in the first segment.
Pace car.
He should have blocked him for a while.
Pace car's in. Rookie Robert Presley, along with Kenny Schrader. Was Schrader sleeping in the first segment?
We'll know in a second.
It's time to wake up.
The alarm rings and we're under green. Schrader outside Robert Presley. Brett Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, row 2. Turn 2.
Schrader looks like he got in the corner good. Presley's fighting back on the inside. It's about a half a car length lead, and here comes Schrader on the outside taking the lead.
Like Speed looked way low. Nothing there.
That camel man is Jimmy Spencer moving up here to try to take over second.
Jeff Gordon's past 2 cars, moves on the outside of Dale Jarrett. Oh, 3 wide.
Why did that not surprise me? That's Jimmy Spencer in the 23 car on the bottom. Oh, contact going into turn 2.
Something broke on Spencer's car. It just turned right. He tried to save it, couldn't, and got into Schrader.
Dale Earnhardt is in the wreck also.
And it's not over. There goes Spencer by on the bottom and Schrader. They will run to the caution flag. Presley leads them back to the flag. Brett Bodine, Elton Sawyer, Lake Speed, Jeff Bodine, Mike Wallace.
A lot of damage to Kenny Schrader's car. He's going back up there. And
a little swipe at Schrader there as he comes to pit road. Watch this.
Okay, the 23 car is right on the bottom of the racetrack. Well, watch when he goes in the corner here and see what happens. You see, he's right on the bottom. Oh, you're right. It just broke loose. It just turned right there, Ernie.
I think he just actually got loose when Schrader was beside him. And, you know, everybody knows that's what's going to happen, and some people just don't learn.
It is the second wreck for Schrader this weekend. His car is behind the wall. Earnhardt's is on pit road. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, he has brought the Goodwrench Chevrolet in. There's a little bit of damage to the left front. They just pulled the fender out from the tire on the left front and also on the right side. Changed one tire on the right side. Other than that, I don't think there's too much damage. Try to get a word with Andy Petrie. Andy, do you know how? And they're coming back in, so that's the problem. They just pulled the fenders off. They are going to bring him back in.
Kenny Schrader walking from his car, grabs a piece of that bandage to hold that injured thumb. Look again and watch Spencer's car right there just wag and waggle and get right up into Schrader.
It took a little bit of a set, like the back end broke loose, just like Ernie said, and then he kind of tried to correct it, and it just snapped right over into the outside car there. Earnhardt was just swept into an accident he had nothing to do with there.
You know that car will be black again by Thursday. Kenny Schrader is furious. He is stormed to the truck. Let's check with Randy.
Well, I ran about 8 pits, got to his car, and I was behind him and couldn't catch him as he went in to voice his opinion on that 3 abreast going into turn 1. Of course, we saw a glimpse of him getting into the 23 car afterwards on the cool down lap or the caution lap. But Kenny Schrader obviously very, very hot. We'll try and get a word with him later on, but just a bad night all the way around.
Thanks, Randy. Here is Jimmy Spencer's car, and it is remarkably undamaged. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, Dale Earnhardt has brought his Chevrolet back in. They just changed the right sides last time. They're doing the left sides this time because Andy Petrie, the crew chief, had to take a hammer and beat up the left front fender to get it off of that tire. I talked to David Smith, one of the crewmen. He said there's no serious damage to the car. They just wanted to check everything over. He's down and away, so nothing really to further to report on. Seems to be okay.
That car is a tank. That car is hard to hurt. Has been now for many years. We're under caution, and we will be right back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hold your breath.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
35 laps are complete as you look at Charlotte Motor Speedway from our Duralube aerial camera. With the infield blacked out and the outfield in darkness, everybody's attention is focused on this 1.5 mile ring of asphalt bathed in over 1 million candle power of light.
Wowee. Well, this race is this way. I mean, people are going to give it their all, and you will make mistakes in races like this when you're giving it everything you got. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but it made it 3 wide going in the corner, so everybody knows that you can't go 3 wide through the corner.
Well, I tell you, you know, there's no doubt. I mean, this brings out a lot in everybody. There's no points that are reflected. So, you know, winning's what it's all about.
Looking at Terry Labonte's car there, and the left side is undamaged. We're told he has sheet metal damage on the right side as a result of that incident. 5 laps complete. They do count the caution laps in these 2 30-lap segments, but not in the final 10 laps. It's kind of like the last minute of a basketball game that takes 12 minutes to play. Caution laps won't count in that one. They do, however, count in this 30-lap segment. We have 5 laps down and 25 to go. Green flag this time by, and again, Robert Presley up front with Brett Bodine. All cars on the lead lap, and they do start double file. Let's go back to green. Presley and Brett Bodine are even. Lake Speed drops in behind Robert Presley as they go to turn 1. Brett Bodine's not going to give up that front row position without a fight. Oh, here comes Speed on the bottom.
Boy, Lake got a good drive right in the center of the corner. He's side by side trying to take over second spot as they go down the back straightaway side by side into turn 3.
Elton Sawyer holding his own against Mike Wallace back at 4th spot. There's the battle for second. Speed in number 9, Brett Bodine. In 11, the Junior Johnson car. Mike Wallace looking on the bottom. Here comes Jeff Bodine up the outside. The Black Exide batteries number 7. Last year's winner. You're riding with Jeff Gordon as he works alongside Bill Elliott and now moves up to Jeff Bodine. Gordon moving fast.
You know, Jeff Bodine said he had some problems with the car running well. You can see it's not running up to par. He started right up near the front and he's dropping back now.
Now Gordon looks for the high side to try to get around Darrell Waltrip and Elton Sawyer in the Hooters 4.
The at old DW stick its nose in there. That 17 car, the Delco car you see it on the inside there, Western Auto, he's moving right along. Boy, I tell you what, that man's won a lot of races here. 7 times he's won major races here.
Almost getting together with Jeff Bodine. Here they fly off into the corner at turn 3.
Don't do it.
Trouble.
Oh.
Up in the wall, Dale Jarrett. And Mark Martin. Jimmy Spencer spins to miss them. Martin twirls around again. And Todd Bodine limps. Is that Todd limping down pit road? Right front down on Bodine's car. Spencer pulls away.
Spencer hit the water barrier down there, and the water must have went 100 foot in the air.
Look at Mark Martin's car shortened up, as is the signal from his in-car camera. Wham.
Man, that car is destroyed.
And so is Dale Jarrett's. If the full moon isn't out tonight, it ought to be. Let's show you what happened at turn 3.
Looks like Dale slowed up just a little bit, got tagged in the back end there, goes into a wild slide. You see Jimmy Spencer spinning to miss Dale Jarrett. Just in front of them, it was contact after the other wreck.
I tell you, the Mark Martin wreck didn't have anything to do with the Dale Jarrett wreck. It seemed like Mark lost it, and come on, look at it again.
All right, now there's Mark Martin.
Okay, he gets the air off the rear spoiler
Okay, yeah.
there. That's exactly what happens. It turns around, very similar to what happened to Spencer down going into turn 1.
Yep.
So there is Jarrett sliding back down, heavy damage to the left rear. I'm going to show you that one more time because show you a couple of other things to note there from that incident. There's Spencer sliding past. Now,
okay, you see the 28 car right here. He slows up, he gets tagged just a little bit. That's what's triggered the whole deal there.
The
now,
3 car.
Watch Todd Bodine in 75. He's a victim of circumstance. Watch the yellow car. Spencer made an incredible move to miss Dale Jarrett and then couldn't recapture the car. He goes sliding up the banking. But in that one, Spencer and Todd Bodine were the innocent victims.
That was Earnhardt that got into the back of the 28 car there as they started into turn 3.
Although, as you said, it looked as if Jarrett slowed dramatically rather than Earnhardt running into him.
That's exactly. You know, you can get a little bit loose and you check up and bang.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Well,
I mean, I think he may have checked up a little bit, but you know, it's like
we have time
run
to
over the
look
guy
at
in front
it.
of you.
And the reason I say that, and I'm not trying to assign fault, look at the distance between 28 and the car ahead. Look at what happens to that distance when Earnhardt gets into the back of 28.
Well, that's
here.
after they touched
Okay.
there, but the other angle showed that 28 was going in the corner quite well, and then all of a sudden he slowed just a little bit. Earnhardt, of course, was going in there like a locomotive.
Right.
And he didn't have time to check up.
Glenn Jarrett.
And Earnhardt has brought his Chevrolet back in the pits. Again, the crew goes to the right side, changing right side tires. Now around to the left side, so it's a 4-tire change for Earnhardt. They did not like the way it felt. He said he had a little push, caused a little too tight to his liking. So they're trying to adjust that with a 4-tire change. He's down in the way. There is no damage, no further damage to the front end of the car. They're down, Andy Petrie down on his knees now, measuring the front nose height. But from that bump that he gave Dale Jarrett, don't see any further damage to the car. He'll be back out in just a moment.
Now he'll be last in line, so they're not really losing any time by having this check being made. Let's go to Randy.
Well, Dale Jarrett watched the replay on the monitor. You said you saw it. What did you feel? What happened in your point of view?
I didn't have to watch the monitor. I just knew I got hit from behind there. You know, we were all just, you know, trying to get a position there, and I was low in the corner, and you know, felt like I was keeping up there, and just trying to get going, and got taken out.
That's it.
One thing for sure, no matter what we say or observe or you folks see at home, only 2 fellows know what happened, and that's Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt.
You're exactly right. And that's why we don't try to judge everybody and say this guy really caused that wreck, because you have to be in those race cars. From that angle, you could see the outside car go in the corner and pass Jarrett going in the corner. So something happened that he checked up just a little bit.
Here's the top 10 after 12 laps of this second segment, and the fans have already gotten more action than I think their ticket called for. Robert Presley, leg speed, Mike Wallace, Brett Bodine, and Darrell Waltrip, the top 5. Gordon, Jeff Bodine, Sawyer, Rusty Wallace, and Rudd, the top 10.
I think if we have any more wrecks, I think the fans are going to have to pay on their way out.
Yes, they'll have to pay again. Humpy would find a way to do that. Humpy Wheeler, the track president. Elton Sawyer's made a pit stop, so has Sterling Marlin. As we get ready to go back to green. 42 laps down, 18 to go in this second segment.
It looks like we're going to go.
And again, they line up double file. There you see them.
Mike, you know one thing you can see, Jeff Gordon is on a mission again. He's all the way up to the third row outside there.
Yes.
He's really making, he started dead last and he's already up to here.
17 cars are running. Mark Martin is in the garage. So is Dale Jarrett and Kenny Schrader.
Back under green, Robert Presley gets a great start there. That's important, the way they've been getting together.
Here comes Jeff Gordon up the outside on Brett Bodine, Lowe's Ford. Gordon, Brown working Darrell Waltrip, the Western Auto Chevy.
Boy, that's strength. You see him passing, coming off that corner. That's a lot of horsepower. Yeah, I know he's handling well, but he's got a lot of race car there, too.
Todd Bodine's car is behind the wall after that incident as well. 16 cars on the racetrack, all on the lead lap.
Now, Mark Martin's hands were very still. You see Jeff Gordon going through the corner there. That hand is really back and forth. That's more to the style of a Winston Cup driver right there. I mean, you see the hand going through the corner, back and forth, right on the edge.
It's our Goodyear in-car camera tonight, mounted in the car of Jeff Gordon. Reminds me of Cale Yarborough in the car.
You can't
saw on that wheel.
Well, you can't see Mark Martin's hand because it's all the way in his lap almost. So you can see how much they're right on the edge of losing this car. Watch him work that wheel coming off the corner there, back to the right.
You know, really, he's not sawing on it very much. I mean, it's just, it's just enough to keep the tension on the steering. You know,
that's like walking on a tight wire. You have to balance yourself, and that's what he's doing with the steering wheel, right, back and forth.
He's taken third place from Mike Wallace in the Heilig Myers Ford at 180 miles an hour. Jeff Gordon has already banked $50,000 for winning segment 1. He's going for 50 more.
Boy, oh boy, I mean, he went by lake speed like he was tied to a tree. This kid is flying around this racetrack.
I tell you, looking at the times, Jeff Gordon, the first segment, he ran about 3 or 4 tenths quicker than the leader's running right now.
Look at him make the move on the outside. Now that is power, folks. That's handling and power.
He is the leader. Put the Rick Hendrick DuPont Chevrolet out front. Jeff Gordon.
If I was Mike Wallace, I'd just try to hang on to that 24.
Now look who's coming. Darrell Waltrip. Hot on the trail of second place, Mike Wallace.
5-time World 600 winner, Darrell Waltrip, sitting right there in third spot. You talk about smooth, he does not make errors.
Earnhardt to the inside of Ricky Rudd makes the pass.
Well, he's got that car just like he likes it now. He's got the donuts on the side and the whole bit. He's ready to go.
Earnhardt's up to 6th. Glenn?
Mike, he's running a little bit of engine or water temperature through the engine, or excuse me, the water temperature is up to about 235, 240 right now. A little warmer than they'd want, but not a problem yet. Keeping a close eye on it.
Right behind Jeff Bodine comes Earnhardt in a tight draft.
I tell you, the guys are keeping those noses taped up as much as they can because that's what gets the speed, and you know, they're keeping it up as much as they can.
Ernie, Jeff Gordon reminds me of a guy in the 28 car last year in this particular race.
Yeah, but hopefully he's not going to go through the grass.
There's Earnhardt. Rudd is hanging right with him. They've lost a half a car length or so on Bodine.
I tell you, I looked at the times Jeff Gordon's running. He's running like a 30-20 right now. That's just a little bit slower than you saw a lot of the Winston cars qualifying. It's a pretty fast speed right now.
Look at Earnhardt dive to the bottom there. He's trying to get by Jeff Bodine.
And Bodine's having a look at Robert Presley in the 33. 10 to go in the second segment, then we get set for the shootout.
Boy, oh boy, Earnhardt's on the move right now. Jeff Bodine is running quite a bit faster than he was in the first segment as we speak here. Here comes Earnhardt up under him going into turn 3. handling very well now. I think the adjustments they made on that car got him back into contention now.
Ricky Rudd, though, coming right with him in the number 10 Tide Ford. 4th place for Earnhardt, making 5th place for Rudd as he works under Jeff Bodine. And Bobby Labonte trying to follow along with Sterling Marlin.
Whoa,
Close.
man.
Close.
Oh, man. Watch
Uh-oh.
out.
Not done yet.
There we go. Good catch by Ricky Rudd. That should have been a major wreck right there. Good driving on Ricky Rudd's part.
And by Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin to get around either side of it.
I got to tell you people something. That's not a car to beat around on. That guy right there has got a temper that you will not believe. That will not be unchecked there.
You got to see that again.
Well, you see Bobby Labonte, he goes to the inside here. That makes it pretty much 3 wide. Bodine makes a little contact there.
You know what's odd there,
Look
buddy?
at Bobby Labonte. I mean, that was great driving on his part, too, not to spin out. He was all the way on the flat part of the track.
Right there, Rudd could not have been getting any air on his spoiler. Bodine up high, Labonte underneath. Amazing that car stuck at all.
Yeah.
Darrell Waltrip goes to 2nd. What is he holding back?
I tell you, Darrell told me that he's got something for him.
He wasn't kidding.
Well, he better use it because here comes Dale Earnhardt trying to take the 3rd spot away here.
I think it's them fruity-looking shoes he's got. Or something.
Oh, man.
Or it's them sunglasses he was wearing. I don't know.
Stevie hates that style of sunglasses. She told him so in no uncertain terms.
They look like spoons.
Dale Earnhardt makes the pass for 3rd on the outside. Mike Wallace has dropped off just a little bit. I think he may have a loose condition on that car.
6 laps to go in round 2. The final round, 10 laps coming up.
I tell you, the segments go a lot quicker sitting up here.
And up here, you get paid the same no matter where you finish.
Right.
Darrell Waltrip, how is your approach to this race different than it is for any other?
You know, in say the 600-mile race, they drop the green flag, a guy needs in, you let him in. You're racing a guy and he needs a break, you give him a break. And that's what racing's all about, and that's how you get to the finish. In this deal here, if somebody opens the door and you don't run through it, then they'll slam it in your face and you'll pay the price. So you got to race hard, and you got to be just a little bit aggressive, and you got to be just a little bit of an intimidator yourself.
Everybody's doing it.
You got it. That's what this race is all about.
Now for the final 10 laps, they will start just the way they finished this segment. 4 laps to go. Gordon's the leader. Waltrip is 2nd. Earnhardt's up to 3rd. Good run for Mike Wallace and Junie Donlevy. They are 4th. And Jeff Bodine right now posted as 5th. 6th for Sterling Marlin. 7th, Bobby Labonte. 8th, Terry Labonte. Ricky Rudd slid all the way back to 9th. Lake Speed is 10th.
Old DWS running good. He might have told you the truth. Look at this bunch. Mike Wallace in jeopardy here, losing that spot. That's Sterling Marlin in the yellow car there, trying to take that spot away from him. Just behind him, Jeff Bodine. Bobby Labonte in the green and black car there. And Ricky Rudd making a run back again.
Rudd's like that old joke, mind if I pet your dog? Nice, clean-cut looking kid, has a beautiful race car. Don't get too close, he'll bite you.
Well, if you bite him, you'll get bit, I'll promise.
That's what I mean.
Ricky's just a really good, he's a good competitor. And here goes Sterling Marlin past Mike Wallace.
So Sterling moves up into the top 5. 4th place, and Wallace now 5th. This jostling is for real. There's no sandbagging now, because where you finish this segment is where you start the final one that pays all the money.
Here comes the Iceman, Terry Labonte in the 5 car, the Kellogg's car there.
And he's trying to drag little brother up with him.
Well, little brother's running pretty good. He's trying to decide which way he wants to go here.
Oh, sure. Help your brother in the other Chevrolet or go with the Ford. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd go with the fastest car.
Yep. Good answer.
Oh, that's what we say now.
Good answer. Caution will wave this time to complete round 2.
You got to remember, Bob Labonte is who says what goes on there. You know what I mean?
Jeff Gordon wins the 2nd segment. His earnings tonight are up to $100,000. Darrell Waltrip is 2nd. Dale Earnhardt is 3rd. Sterling Marlin finishes this one in 4th. And it's Jeff Bodine. And we'll get set for the shootout. Think anybody will leave early? Doubt it.
Well, I'm just kind of basking in my predictions for this thing start. I'm not going to go into this.
Nobody is clearing their throat to sing just yet. Jeff Gordon has banked $100,000. There's $200,000 left for the winner of the last one. Is there room here to be conservative?
You go into a race like this that pays this much money, that means this much to the drivers and to the teams, man, you're not going to hold back. And you know, if you got to get rough, if you got to do things that you don't normally intend to do, then so be it. And we've seen in the past what's happened on Winston's on last laps. I mean, this is a big race, and it might not pay Winston Cup points, but it's got a whole lot of other things on the line, and you'll see guys go for it more often than you normally do, and that's what makes it the Winston.
From the Speedway Club, high atop the quad oval here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Great view, great food.
Oh, yeah.
Nice dinner tonight. And we're getting set for the final 10-lap segment. Now, some of the pit stops have been completed and some have not. With the latest in sartorial splendor, as Chris Economaki once said, here is, believe it or not, Glenn Jarrett.
Hey, thanks, guys. I was running out of things to talk about down here. And Ernie made the comment about some fairy shoes, was it? So I had to find a hat to match Darrell's shoes. This hat will be presented to him after the race, and I'm sure that he'll wear it. And I know that even Stevie will like it. Let's get serious for just a moment, if I can do that looking like this. We listened in on the conversation between Jeff Gordon and his crew chief, Ray Evernham, at the end of that first segment. Jeff radioed to Ray, said, hey, he said, who starts outside me? In the next segment, he said, Darrell Waltrip. He said, who? He said, Darrell Waltrip. He said, Jeff says, well, who's behind me? He says, Dale Earnhardt. Was a dead silence. Gordon says, oh, man, I got my work cut out for me. Two great veterans going to give the kid a run for his money in this next segment. I'm going to go find another hat.
Thanks, Peter Pan. And if you see Tinkerbell down there,
that was good. That was good. Minnie Jarrett.
Yeah, Minnie. There was no tag on it. Ooh, overheating maybe? We'll check when we come back.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Pep Boys Automotive Super Center.
Charlotte Motor Speedway from high over turn 2 from our Duralube aerial camera. We're getting set for the shootout. 10 laps for $200,000 to win. Now, Dale Earnhardt's car will, as we watch our Napa field summary of where everybody is at this juncture with 10 laps to go. Buddy, was Earnhardt's car overheating, do you think? Or, as we set the field here, were they just, instead of recirculating that water that was already hot, just replacing it with fresh and cool?
Well, what they've done, Ernie and I talked about this, they've taped the nose up to get a lot of down pressure on the nose of this car, so they're cooling it off at each segment. And, you know, running cold water through it and it's pumping the hot water out. That's not really running hot right now, but for 10 laps, let me tell you, he's going to let it all hang out now.
Glenn Jarrett can update the Earnhardt story.
Well, you guys are exactly right, buddy. That's what they're doing. David Smith told me they're running as much tape on the car as they could. They've only got 10 more laps to go. It ran up to about 250 degrees sitting here on pit road, but on the racetrack, still only running 225, 230. That's in an operable range. No problem there. They just want the chassis to work as well as they can, pulling out all stops to try to catch the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Let's go down to Randy.
Well, I'd like to give you some other information, but Darrell Waltrip, same thing. Tape on the grill, loosen it up just a little bit. We're getting ready to go green.
Who do you like, Ernie?
I have to look at old DW.
Wouldn't that be something?
Well, otherwise, me and Buddy both be going for the same person.
And then I'd have to pick Earnhardt.
Ernie,
Yeah, thanks.
I'm telling you right now, I'd be thinking jump.
I'd jump him
Jump
right now.
to start.
What do you got to lose?
Earnhardt did it, and they didn't.
Oh,
say that.
DW did jump him. He's got a little bit of a lead
Yeah,
on
he
him.
does. Yeah.
Green flag, 10 laps, $200,000 to the winner. Waltrip pulled one out of his silver shoe, but we have a caution.
Oh,
That's what they did last time.
Yes. Earnhardt jumped the start, and on that occasion, they lined the back up the way they were running and restarted again.
I was in that one pretty heavily.
Yes.
Earnhardt and Mark and me.
They don't race back to the flag on this one. Everybody's out of the throttle. They'll line it back up, and the starter is pointing at Waltrip. He was pointing at Waltrip and shaking his head back and forth like, no, you don't jump my start.
Oh, he's saying that Earnhardt's already done that. We know what this trick is.
You've seen this movie.
Yeah.
It's out on video cassette.
I don't blame him. Everything he did.
Hey,
it's worth the try, right?
you know why? Because it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
That's exactly. And I think that's what Earnhardt will tell you.
Is that Pete Wright? Pete Peterson?
Yeah, Pete Peterson.
He's laughing. Hey, I think Darrell was, they must be watching that RCA satellite and listening to us.
Yeah.
Jump him, jump him. That's
Now,
what we're saying.
they have told Pete, if Darrell jumps again, he will go to the back.
That's the exact same thing they told Earnhardt.
To the bank. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay. Yes.
Now that the 17 car can't go, what about Earnhardt?
Well, he can't really jump. So he can't. He
can't move out of line.
He can't
No,
pass
but
him.
I guarantee you one thing: he can be so close when they drop the green.
I'd pick the 24 car. Tires up off the ground, so he couldn't go.
Here's Randy.
Well, we'll talk to the crew chief. Nice try. It didn't work for Earnhardt. Evidently, it didn't work for you guys either.
No, didn't work. We tried, though.
Pete doesn't have much of a poker face, does
he? Man. Hey, listen, this is for a lot of money, folks.
Yes.
Hey, that's because they pay more to win.
Now, the first two segments paid $50,000 to win, $15,000 per second, $7,500 per third. None of the other positions paid at all. But here it's $200 grand to win. And if you get beat out of the lead on the last lap, you take a $140,000 or $120,000 pay cut. Second only pays 80 grand. Only 80 grand for 10 laps over.
You see Gordon cleaning those tires. I guarantee you one thing. He's thinking, when they get the green flag this time, I'm going to be leading.
Jeff Gordon carrying a Goodyear in-car camera tonight. They're in turn 3. Light is out on the pace car.
Man, yeah.
Youth and enthusiasm on the pole, and old age and treachery alongside. You got to love it.
And behind.
And behind. Pace car's in. And here they come. This looks dead even.
Yep. He did not jump him. Now, if something happens to Gordon now and Darrell gets ahead of him, so be it.
Where will Earnhardt go? That may decide who has the lead coming out of turn 2.
Look at DW. He's got a half a car length on Gordon as they come off turn 2. Gordon pulls back, though. He's got a strong car.
Here comes the old gray mare on the inside. It's Earnhardt all the way to the bottom. And he gets away with it.
Great move.
Hart start beating.
He's still got to go by Darrell.
Oh, no. No way. Oh, man.
I hate it.
There's a bunch of cars in trouble. Bobby Labonte hit right at the flag stand.
So does Lake Speed. There are 5, make that 4 trashed race cars.
People are going to have to pay to get out of here.
Man, that was rough there.
Earnhardt drove through the infield to his pit. Pete Peterson and crew have run to Waltrip's aid. Bobby Labonte walks away. No Panther that wears that Charlotte helmet will ever hit that hard. And Lake Speed's spam can has a few dents in it. He's not yet climbed out.
They're talking to Darrell. I guess he's okay, it looks like.
All right, Lake is out of his car. He's okay. Bobby Labonte's walked away. Earnhardt's car drove to the pit and then to the garage. There's Lake. And he's okay. They're talking to Darrell still. They're going to hook the wrecker up to him.
Darrell looks like he's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
just
it
man.
rung his bell a little bit, but
they're going to try to give him some oxygen.
Jimmy Maycar, crew chief, talking to Bobby Labonte, who is telling Bobby what he saw. And Darrell's all right. Taking out the earplugs, and looks like he took a little bit of hit there in the rib cage.
I think he's more mad. Just not really mad at anybody, just, man.
Heartbroken is more like it.
Right.
Man, that race could well have been his to win. Randy?
Well, Dale climbs from the car. Dale, you okay?
Watch out, guys. Watch out.
Dale Earnhardt got a little bit of a limp. Goes up to talk. We'll see if we can get a word with him. He's going to sit down here for a second. Dale, anything goes on that. First of all, you okay? You limped out.
What do you mean anything goes?
Well, I'm checking. Anything goes as far as, I mean, it was a good, hard, clean race. It seemed to be. You just stuck it down there. What happened?
Loose and lost it and got into there. Who was on the outside of it?
Well, you limped out. Are you okay?
Popped my ankle a little bit.
Okay, that's Dale Earnhardt.
And he, too, thought he could win it and was trying hard, as was Waltrip. Take a look here.
You see Darrell on the outside there. They start down the back straightaway. Here comes Earnhardt on the bottom side, makes it 3 wide. Darrell gets ahead of the 24 car, Jeff Gordon. He and Earnhardt go into turn 3 here, side by side. You see Earnhardt starting to drift up right there. He's loose big time. Watch his car right here. Coming off the corner, you see it turn sideways. He gets into Darrell Waltrip. Both of them get into the wall. Boy, Jeff Bodine just barely got by there.
And there's Robert Presley just sneaking through in the green car. And here's Earnhardt limping along. We've not yet seen how Bobby Labonte and Lake Speed got involved. Here's another angle. Give Terry Labonte a call, too. Boy, Presley, Rusty Wallace following him through. Not much room to go there, but they made it through. There's Elton Sawyer getting past. Different angle.
Them 2 cars got slowed down coming off turn 2, and Earnhardt had a heck of a shot going at him. And then they got into turn 3 side by side, him and Darrell.
Mike Wallace down there on the bottom.
Ernie, you can see right there, Earnhardt's got a bad angle into that corner. He's really having to pinch the car to stay that low.
And that gets him a little
right
loose.
along here, starting to get loose on him.
It almost looks like it bottoms out here in a minute. I'd seen some sparks. One of them did.
Darrell, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, right
there.
Yeah.
He just got loose there.
Much as Spencer did at turn 2. The car just suddenly just broke loose and was into the other car.
Yeah, it's just that's what happened.
Now there's Labonte going through the grass.
Bobby Labonte's car turns hard right just past there.
And there's Lake Speed in the infield as well. Trying to regain control and losing it there and going into the wall. What a crash. We will be right back.
Welcome back to another exciting night here at the Winston at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now, we saw the replay a while ago. Bobby Labonte's car went down in the grass. Bobby, looks like you had a handle on it there for a moment, but tell us what happened.
When you get in the grass there, it's over, you know, and I got all 4 wheels off in it. Bodine come down to miss the wreck, and just one of those deals.
Awfully hard hit. Are you okay?
Yeah, probably a little sore, but, you know, Interstate battery Chevrolet run great. You know, it was getting better as it went. And the thing is, we got a lot better car when we come back.
Things got awfully crowded there in a hurry.
Yeah, it does. That's part of it, I guess.
Okay, he wants to go to his crew and talk things over a little bit. Appreciate his waiting by for us.
Bobby Labonte's first trip to the Winston Select won't be happy memories. You'll see there's Lake Speed, the blue car in the grass. You'll see he and Bobby Labonte into the wall. Ouch.
Wow.
Boy, Rusty did a heck of a job missing all those guys.
He did as well. Drive to survive and to dodge the wrecks. That's been the story tonight so far, and there's more to come. Stay with us.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
We talked earlier about how in the playoffs we saw the Orlando-Chicago game the other night in the NBA playoffs, and it sometimes takes 10 or 12 minutes to run the last minute of basketball. Folks, we're into the final 10-lap shootout of the Winston. We have yet to complete a green lap. There are still 10 laps to go. Cleanup continues here on the front straightaway. Randy Pemberton.
Darrell Waltrip has walked out of the infield care center. Darrell, I guess, how did you see it?
I didn't. No, you know, 3 wide. It's the Winston. I sucked it up and said, hope this don't hurt too bad. That's about all you could do. The car was awesome, and you know, I knew Jeff had a fast car, so I had to do all I could do to get in front of him. I thought I'd pulled it off, but then we went over here and I saw Dale down there and he was digging under me, and I said, oh Lord, if he comes up here much further, we're in trouble. And all of a sudden, I guess he broke loose, and the rest is history. I guess I got a nice backup car. Oh, that's one good thing about it. I'll be ready for next week. I don't think I broke my ribs. They're just real sore, knocked the wind out of me. Praise the Lord, I'm ready to go racing again. I ain't ready for the junkyard yet.
Darrell Waltrip, always with a good attitude.
Well, Randy, when you run up front and you have a chance to win it, you can't go home with a smile on your face.
Now, there is a pro. He didn't get out and blame anybody. That's a racing accident, you know? It just happened. He's ready to go racing next week.
You got to like that kind of attitude. And there's Ray Evernham, high up on the war wagon. Is there anybody left that can stay with Jeff Gordon?
Just on his right side there is a guy that gets around this racetrack awful well, Sterling Marlin. That's a strong race car. But a backup. He tore his main car up earlier today and had to go to a backup car.
Robert Presley pitted. He will go to the rear, and we still have 10 laps to go. Sterling Marlin doesn't get as good a start as Jeff Gordon. And they go to turn 1. 10 to go. Oh, Jeff Bodine backs up and gets tagged. Oh, right there, Terry Labonte got in the back of Jeff Bodine. And that splits the field.
That's Rusty Wallace on the bottom there in the black car, back in the field there, trying to make a move on Terry Labonte. On the outside, Bill Elliott running very hard now.
And a little smoke out of Mike Wallace's right side. Tire rub?
Boy, he's just letting it all go right now. I think that's probably the best I've seen Junie Donlevy's car run in quite a while. He's in third place in the Winston Select. He's going to let her rip.
Rusty moves under Bill Elliott. Puts the Miller Genuine Draft Ford up a spot. And here comes Elton Sawyer. In only his third Winston Cup start, give a call to Elton.
Mike, he has a tire rubbing on the 90 car. That's pretty bad in third place there. Right in the corner, it's rubbing pretty hard.
1 round complete, 9 to go.
Oh, boys.
Presley underneath Brett Bodine.
They didn't have the advantage of seeing the replays like we do.
No, and it's pretty hard to run 9 laps with the tire rubber, man. I really hope he can make it in.
Well, as Buddy Parrott said earlier, sometimes we bring a car here, we don't expect to bring it home. And for Mike Wallace, if you stop now, you're the 13th place car.
I'll tell you what, Sterling Marlin is staying right with Jeff Gordon.
I was just fixing to say, through the corners, they look very even. If there's any advantage at all, I think Jeff Gordon may have a little stronger car right up out of the corner.
Third place battle, Ricky Rudd is pulled right down on Mike Wallace. There's that rub as the car goes in the corner, wags just a bit.
Wow.
And as the body leans over onto that right rear. But Wallace is giving it all.
I tell you.
Ricky Rudd's running very well on the outside. You see that car twitching just a little bit. You smell that smoke flying, but you know you've only got a few more laps to go.
Ricky Rudd is probably a little nervous to get on the outside of him right now. You know, it's he knows that tire is going to blow out, and you know, just hopefully it'll last for the rest of the race.
Boom! He twitches, and there's how you do it. On the bottom side, he's gone now.
So Rudd is up to third. Gordon the leader, Marlin in second, Rudd is third, Mike Wallace trying to hang on to fourth. Have you paid your bill? It could be checkout time.
Boy, oh boy. Talk about some big money. All 3 segments. Woo.
Elton Sawyer's been black flagged. I'm not sure why. From our Goodyear camera mounted in Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet.
You're riding along with a $300,000 effort if he can continue like he's going right now. We see why he's black flagged now. That's the exhaust pipe rubbing there.
Yeah, looks like a tailpipe's broken.
Robert Presley pulls up on Sawyer. Elton had a great run tonight. He was running in 8th place. He still is with 4 laps to go. And Robert Presley getting the shower of sparks from Elton Sawyer's Hooters Ford. 5 car lengths is the advantage up front. Sterling Marlin, 2-time winner of the Daytona 500. Trying to pull down on Jeff Gordon.
Well, Jeff's running very well, but so is Sterling. I mean, Right now, I think that Jeff's got just a little more straightaway speed than the 4-car of Sterling Marlin. But other than that, look here, we have a race back in the pack. That's on the outside there in the 2-car. That's Rusty Wallace.
Jeff Bodine's with him. Bill Elliott in the McDonald's car. New paint job for Elliott for the 600 next week.
Whatever's wrong with Mike Wallace's car that's making it smoke like that in the corners is affecting the handling on the car. You see him dropping back through the field right here. Every time he hits a bump down there, maybe he broke a shock or something, Ernie.
It could have. You know, there's something definitely wrong with it.
Robert Presley moves alongside Wallace, whose fine night of racing will not show up in the final results here. White flag. Brooke Gordon, Jeff's wife, looking on, a lap to go. He's really pulling it out on Marlin now. 8 car lengths, 9 as they hit the back straightaway.
I think Sterling knows he can't catch him, and he don't want to make a mistake that's going to drop him back in the 3rd.
Sterling can make 80 grand right where he is. Off turn 4. The Brickyard 400 winner becomes the latest winner of the Winston Select. Jeff Gordon for Rick Hendrick. DuPont at Chevrolet will go to Victory Lane and pick up a check tonight for $300,000.
Wow. That's a good career for some people. Wow. Doing it in fine fashion. He won his first race he ever won right here at Charlotte.
That's right. Under the lights.
You got it.
We'll be back with more from the Winston Select at Charlotte Motor Speedway, live on the Nashville Network after this. Jeff Gordon celebrates in Victory Lane as the shower of fireworks covers Concord and Harrisburg, North Carolina. 1991, Davey Allison won all 3 segments. Jeff Gordon has done it tonight. Somewhere in all that turmoil is Glenn Jarrett.
I'm right here, Mike, and Jeff Gordon, you came, you saw, and you kicked tail all night long. Man, what an awesome race car.
You're right. That's exactly it, man. This DuPont Chevrolet was just on the rail tonight, and I tell you, I mean, when you're giving a car this good, there's just no holding back, and you know, it would have been tough if Earnhardt and Darrell wouldn't have wrecked there, because they snookered me on that start, but I sure would like to have been there to race him, because I think we certainly had something for him. We had something for him all night tonight. You know, we wanted a clean sweep, but I really didn't want to start on the pole for that last 10 lapper. That was not the place to be, but we got a good start that last time, and we took off, man. The thing was just awesome tonight.
We heard reports there right at the end that your car might have been getting a little loose, and maybe that's when Darrell and Dale got by you before they wrecked.
Well, what happened was we tightened the car up a little bit for that last 10 laps, and I actually went in the first corner, and the car pushed a little bit, and then that brought Dale in on my butt, and, you know, he knows how to get right on that bumper and make it real loose. So I had to give it up to him, you know, and they drove by me, and I was just waiting. I knew it was going to happen. You know, Dale tried to win it on the first lap. I think they both knew that we had the car to beat, and you better get in front of that 24 car or we're going to run away with it. And, you know, they got out front, but then they were battling each other. I was just waiting for it. I knew to try to get underneath them. I saw Dale start to get loose, and I just dove underneath them, and, you know, they both started wrecking. I hate to see that happen, but, you know, that's the way this Winston is. It's exciting. Anything can happen, and you got to keep your nose clean. We found that out last year.
He's not excited at all. Have you got any idea how much money that you made tonight?
Hey, I love Bruton Smith, man. I love to take his money, and I think he likes giving it to me, too. But I tell you what, I want to say hi to Pop Hendrick, Rick Hendrick. This is their first Winston ever. My first Winston, so we just did something together, and that's a lot of fun doing it.
Well, the good things seem to have started for you here last year. Looks like a continuation of the same.
Well, I never thought the car would be this good. You know, the first time we brought it on the track the other day, it was on the rail. We didn't qualify as good as we wanted to. I didn't know how to get down pit road as fast as some of them other guys, but when it comes to the race, man, we're going to be real strong, and I think we can get even better by next week.
Boy, that's tough news for the rest of the field. Just so you'll know, some $300,000, a little shopping spree tomorrow for him, maybe.
Well, Sterling Marlin, you came through some adversity, had a great run, finished second. Not the big money, but still quite a nice night for you.
Well, I've run second this thing 3 times. Maybe we can win it one day. But my hat's off the Kodak Delco Badger crew. We I wrecked the primary car this evening, and they jumped in there and got this backup car ready, and I believe it's better than the other cars. So they done a real good job, and always run good here. So I believe we're in good shape for 600.
Now you know how Earnhardt feels, I guess, in the 500 Daytona. This is a great race here, and not being able to win it.
Yeah, it's it's a class place here at Charlotte, and I always enjoy running here, and it'd be real neat. I tell you, it's a real nice atmosphere here, and we'll keep trying, and we'll keep trying to win it.
Sterling, obviously this race lends itself to these types, a lot of wrecks, it seemed like tonight. Was it the rules? Was it just the way this race is? You got to go for it?
Well, you got to run hard, but I wrecked, the primary car this evening, and it just, just took our off spoilers. Jeff Bodan's on the outside, and it just, the back end was around before I knew it, and just lost all the grip. And I don't know, maybe they need to look at it again and give us the spoilers and nose pieces back, and maybe raise the whole car height up or something. I don't know, take a look at it again.
Congratulations on a good run.
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon goes over $1 million in earnings for 1995, and the season isn't even half over. And when Davey Allison won in 1991, it was 2 segments, 50 and 20 laps, and he led all the way. Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered, taking the country by storm, and Miller Genuine Draft Light bring you the Pit Crew of the Race Award. Here's Glenn.
Well, another awfully happy member of this pit crew. The brains behind it all, Ray Evernham, the crew chief. Miller Genuine Draft Pit Crew Award for you guys. I have never seen a race car dominate like that here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just got to accept this award on behalf of everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. These people work really hard for all 3 of these teams, and Kenny's had some bad luck, and Terry's had some bad luck, and we've had some good luck. But I really want to thank all of them, my guys here. I don't think I'm the brains. I'm just a small part of this deal, and I'm really, really lucky to be part of a team with a driver and sponsors and people like there are at Hendrick Motorsports.
Well, this guy, don't let him downplay it too much, folks. He's awfully smart. On behalf of TNN and Miller Genuine Draft, we present you with that. Also, you have been elected the Western Auto Mechanic of the Race. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Sponsors like Miller Genuine Draft and Western Auto make this sport go around. So if they want to keep giving these things out, we're sure going to keep trying to win them.
Well, now, Jeff said that you got a better car for next week.
Well, I think I'm going to have to talk to him. I think he might be driving this one next week.
If I were Jeff Gordon or Ray Evernham, that's the car I'd be in.
They led 49 of 70 laps tonight, Glenn, and I think we heard a young man who has experience beyond his years in victory lane. Jeff Gordon had this figured out and got it done. We'll be right back. For information on Featherlight trailers, call 1-800-800-1230. Featherlight, official trailer of NASCAR. Well, it's all over but the shouting and the celebrating. And looking to see what you have left to run with next week here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. For the Coca-Cola 600, Randy Pemberton in the garage.
Ricky Rudd survives and brings the car home in one piece. Ricky, that was some kind of race. That's all I got to say.
Well, it really was. There's definitely a lot of excitement there at the end of the race. First race we ran real good. I guess we ran second in the first segment, and second segment we loosened the car up a little bit and it hurt us. It got us too loose. We fell back to about 7th, and then that last segment, I mean, it was something else. I can't really tell you what happened. Everybody was hitting everybody, it looked like, and chain reaction took place. And I asked our guys, how many laps have we run? They said, well, you haven't even begun the 10-lap segment. Yeah, you haven't even started yet. So I guess we're glad to have this one over, have it in one piece. And we're the best 4 tonight, but we sure got killed by them Chevrolets tonight.
I have to ask you, how do you put it on the line like that when you know that the tendency that it's going to happen out there? How do you go out there and do that?
Well, I guess it's no different than probably hopping in your streetcar. You know there's going to be accidents every day, but you're hopping on that airplane, but you just say, well, it's going to happen to the other guy. It's not going to get me tonight. And you have to drive like that. You totally block it out of your mind. And maybe it sounds like it's a little bit cold-blooded, but I guess you grow up at a young age with it, and you're able to block it out. And the best thing is nobody got hurt. If one of those guys would have got hurt bad tonight, then it's not as easy to block it out.
Okay, congratulations on a good run. Survival of the fittest tonight. Rusty Waller survived. He's with Glenn Jarrett.
And it survived, he did, and not a bad night overall, Rusty.
No, I was happy with it. We got a 4th place out of it. The car really handled good. That's one thing I feel good about for my chance in the 600. It's more of a long distance deal. It kept getting better and better as the night went on. I started working the high side, working the low side, and the car was good. We'll go back, we'll bring a different car. We'll bring a car called the Captain we named after Roger Penske that we won Michigan with. It's a pretty good car. It's a little better than the one we had here tonight. So we'll run that in the 600, but we didn't get a scratch on nothing. everything performed good. The pit stops were good, and I'm happy with the finish.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know we talked earlier this week about how you generally set a car up for a longer run, and these short runs are not always what you want to do, what you want to see. And having to do that tonight, does it kind of go against the grain of what you really want to do with the race car?
Well, you know, I never have been the best guy when it comes to qualifying, and I don't know if I can say that I'm the best person when it comes to a short endurance race. But those long 400 and 500, 600 miles, I tend to like those pretty much. But I gained a lot of information this week, a lot of shock absorber information. We had a lot of people help us on shocks that really, we made a big leap in our shock program this week. I was real proud of. But everything's going good right now, and we just got to get faster. We got to go back and find a better engine. We got to get a little slicker car, and just a constant pursuit to get better.
Well, now we're going to see you on TNN tomorrow morning with your show Win. Give us a plug there.
Yeah, 10:30, I guess it is tomorrow. Win. It's been going real well. We want all you fans to tune in. I hope you're going to like the show. I've had a lot of fun doing it, taking place with Neil Bonnet, great friend of mine, and I just enjoy it a lot. We got 4 or 5 more segments, and hope you can tune in and watch it.
It's a great show, and it will be on at 10. They've changed the time on us, but we'll look for Rusty tomorrow morning, and obviously again next week in the World 600. Congratulations on a good night.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, I got to put one more plug in here. This race is over. My main focus on right now is getting those 2 Penske cars in the field for the Indy 500 tomorrow. All the team down here in the South is wishing you guys all the luck in the world. Roger, Al, Emerson, everybody watching tonight. Thanks a lot for everything we're pulling for you, man.
Okay, same here.
And tomorrow on TNN Live, the Meridian Advantage 200 Busch Grand National race from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. David Green's on the pole. Tune in at 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. A lot more live auto racing on TNN this weekend. In addition to the Busch race tomorrow, you'll see the Mopar Parts Nationals at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. NHRA drag racing action. Final round coverage live from Englishtown, New Jersey. The finish. $300,000 to Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendricks. Sterling Marlin second, 80 grand. Ricky Rudd took home $34,000 tonight. Rusty Wallace $30,000. Jeff Bodine, Bill Elliott, Robert Presley, Mike Wallace, Jimmy Spencer, and Brett Bodine, the top 10. Then it was Terry Labonte, Elton Sawyer, and in the garage area, Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt, Bobby Labonte, Lake Speed, Todd Bodine, Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, and Ken Schrader. Also today, Marty Ward won the Sportsman 100, and last night, Ramo Stott won the Winston Legends return race here at Charlotte. And we'll be right back after this.
Tonight's exclusive coverage of the Winston Select on TNN has been brought to you by cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. By Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
Line of traffic filing out of Charlotte Motor Speedway. They'll all be back next week for the Coke 600. Let's go down to the garage area. Randy Pemberton.
Jeff Bodine waiting for his interview to come on as we watch it on our little TV down there. Jeff, good run tonight, 5th place.
It was, you know, winning would have been better, but we survived a couple bad wrecks. And at the end, the wreck did affect us. Our fenders got bent in the front. We lost all the downforce. And downforce is very important, as you've heard the last month or so about with these race cars. And the car was just way too tight. But we finished, we survived. It was a wild night. And, you know, what do you expect here at Charlotte for the Winston Select but what you got tonight? I think the race fans enjoyed it. I know there's about 10 race drivers that didn't, though.
Okay, congratulations on a good run, and good luck next week in the 600.
Thanks. Hi, Barry.
And Jeff Bodine's comments pretty much sum it all up. Let's go back to the host of Race Day on TNN, Rick Benjamin, for his final overview.
Quite a night for Jeff Gordon, Mike, and Gordon certainly setting himself up. He likes night racing in Charlotte, obviously, after his Coke 600 win last year and winning here tonight, too. And he ought to be one of the favorites, certainly, when we come back here next week for the Coca-Cola 600. Tomorrow, race day on the air at 11:30 Eastern, 7:30 in the evening Eastern time. Hope you could join us. We'll have full highlights from tonight's activity. We'll preview all the action tomorrow at Nazareth. Also, NHRA drag racing at Englishtown, the ASA series in action this weekend, and final day qualifying at Indianapolis. Rusty Wallace talked about whether his teammates from the Penske stables will make the show. We'll tell you tomorrow night on race day. Mike?
Well, buddy, Ernie, did we get our money's worth?
I tell you, it was just a thrill a minute. I mean, it just, if you thought it was all going to end, it just kept happening, and it was exciting.
And the hits just kept on coming.
Mike, I think if they ever replaced me in this booth for this particular race, I'd probably whip the person they put in here. That's how much I enjoy it. I really like it up here. And I tell you, the Charlotte racetrack does such a great job of putting this race on. Like I said, a lot of guys wrecked tonight, a lot of equipment torn up. But that's what this is. This is an open contest, and people do things in this race they wouldn't normally do. This is the format.
Ernie, did you have fun tonight?
I tell you, it was exciting. I'm going to have fun next week, too.
Sure. And we'll look forward to joining us on some of our other Winston Cup telecasts this year. Tomorrow, live auto racing on TNN. David Green on the pole for the Meridian Advantage 200 Busch Grand National coverage from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. If you're in that area, go to Nazareth, see the Busch cars and the modifieds and NHRA today, and then 5 o'clock final round coverage from Englishtown, New Jersey. For Buddy Baker, Ernie Irvin, Randy Pemberton, and Glenn Jarrett, I'm Mike Joy, congratulating $300,000 man Jeff Gordon, the winner of the Winston Select. We'll leave you with our tribute to Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night. So long.
Working on a night move, trying to make some front page driving news. Working on a night move in the summertime. In the sweet summertime. We were in love, oh no, far from it. We weren't searching for some high in the sky something. We were just young and restless and bored, living by the sword. And we'd steal away every chance we could, to the back room, to the alley, or the trusty woods. I used her, she used me, but neither one cared. We were getting our share, working on our night moves, trying to lose an awkward teenage blues, working on our night moves. And it was summertime. Sweet summertime, summertime. Felt the lightning